That's a fucking twist off.
No shit. No wonder it fucking was a bitch to get off. No, I don't get Rolling Rock.
It's cheap. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or good evening, actually.
Wherever you are in the world.
Wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you guys, good, whatever that may be. Welcome to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. As always, I am joined by the crew. Down below, you see we got Rumboyz Central, a.k.a. JD at rumboyz.com. The man, the myth, the legend, the man behind all the articles. Another one of our writers as well. We have young Jay Love here on the panel with us. I'm also joined by my host, Ty Boogie.
What up, y'all? What's good? What's good?
And, of course, it is Le Admiral. Right now, we are currently live on rumboyz.com, Periscope, which is, just Twitter Live, Sportscaster, and YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm putting this out there. You guys begged for it. It's officially here. Live views, now what gets you on the leaderboard over on Sportscaster. So make sure you guys head on over to Sportscaster. It's time for the Rumboyz to reclaim our spot. No more of this BS. You don't even do a podcast. You drop a 5-minute take, and then all of a sudden you got 20,000 views. No, we're killing that now. It's time for for this. So make sure you guys hop on over to Sportscaster. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat.
About the real grind, the real hours, yo. Let's get it.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it.
So with that being said, now that we have a public service announcement, we're gonna go ahead and turn over towards our moderator of the Rumboyz After. Well, first we gotta go ahead and do this. And then we will turn over to our moderator of Rumboyz After Dark, JD. Cheers to me.
Cheers to you.
All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do?
What's good, everybody in the chat? Leafs in here. BKB, crazy. Hey, Mr. Carter. What's good? Jeremy up in here as well.
Got a lot of good out of the homies. Hell yeah. Well, welcome to the Rumboyz After Dark Drunken Sports Talk Show where you rate us in the comments, rate our takes, tell us where we're right, tell us where we're wrong. Crack open a cold one, enjoy yourself. Let's start with the first topic, and that is the Nationals winning the World Series, and I want to start with Robbie J. What is your reaction to the World Series title? Your hometown team winning the title, man. How does it feel?
Hell yeah. First off, shout out to Jay Writes About Sports. I'm going to become a fan of you over here on Sportscaster, become a fan of us. All of you guys that are new to hop over there, we're going to automatically click that green button. I'm not going to say it a million times tonight. I'm ecstatic. I fucking love it. I have been waiting for this since 2002, since the city since the team has came to the city. I have memories inside that ballpark. I remember when Zimmerman was drafted. I've lived through a lot. And for us to after four postseason appearances, having not being there since 1933 when we were known as the Washington Senators, I am elated. This is the greatest thing that could happen in life for me. Between the Nationals, the Capitals, the Mystics, that puts pressure on now the other two teams in the city to get it together. I don't care about the Wizards. I really don't. But Skins, this is now pressure on you guys to get it together. But y'all got some issues that y'all need to get through as well. But I'm elated. I'm ecstatic. Fuck it. Let's have a beer for that one. Oh yeah.
Shit ton.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had a shit ton afterwards.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So Ty, how did you feel about the World Series? Did it come out how you expected?
Obviously not how I expected. I mean, I didn't even see the Nationals being that team. So again, congrats to the Nationals in general for pretty much being the team that at one point in the beginning of the season was like 8.5 games back and had like less than a 1% chance to make the playoffs. We said 1,000 times, this team just did not quit. It did not matter what inning it was. They figured out how to make the W happen. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to win. Teams like the Astros, like the Dodgers, almost expected to, like the Yankees expected to walk into the World Series. They got punched in the mouth by a team that was ready to be there. So congrats to them. Hopefully they can keep this thing going. And, I mean, how much sweeter is it without Bryce Harper being there? I
think that's the really big story.
It's priceless.
Priceless.
It's rough.
Nice. All right, Jordan Love, your reaction to the World Series.
They rode pitching in a hot bat. They were the hottest team in baseball to start the playoffs. They rode it until they got to the World Series. They went up 2 games, and then they got smacked in the mouth, went down 3-2, and their coaching and just coming back, being a great team, playing together, showing that they really did deserve this championship, led them exactly to that. And happy for Robbie. You got your championship, and that's all I can say.
I want to say I'm happy for the comeback kid winning 4K of picking the Nats. Damn.
Shout out to the
good, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the comeback kid on that 4K.
You, man.
By the way, I told you guys, like I told you when the World Series started, I was like Nats in 7, but make sure you line up a couple of different bets in case it happens earlier. But Nats in 7 is what it was going to happen. Do you know what it took in order for me to be able to make that prediction, knowing that was going to happen on the road, that's what it may have possibly taken? Just I love myself. I love you guys. Listen to our advice. This is why you tune into the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, because we're gonna put you guys in the right position. Shout out to BKB for the dono hype. Dilly, brother.
I'm gonna stay with you for the next question too, Robbie. Or actually, I'll go to Ty, so that way we'll switch it up. So Diaz versus Mastival. Take your pick. Give your reasons.
Yeah, you gotta have him finish this out.
Okay, all right. Take it away, Robbie.
For me on this one, I think this fight is going to be amazing. Let me start with that. These are 2 just badass dudes. I mean, we're going to the badass title for a reason. But these are 2 badass dudes, and neither of them want to go down. They will leak blood. The entire floor will be covered red, but it does not matter. These dudes are hella fighters. But because of that reason, I think both of these guys have big heads and both just want to square it up and just stand out, box this thing. And I don't see it going to the ground a lot because, again, these guys are hard-nosed dudes and just want to beat the hell out of each other. So for that reason, I am going to go with Nate Diaz winning this thing. I think just in the clinch, I think Diaz has a little bit more control there. And then otherwise standing up, I mean, both these guys are great, but I'm going with Diaz here. And I've just never seen the dude quit. I mean, we watched him get beat down, again, bleed. Every part of his body was either swollen, bleeding, something what it is. Dude don't care. He's coming back for the fight. So I'm going with Diaz in this one. But I do think it goes to the decision.
I feel completely and totally different. We kind of saw, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to a lot of the pre-fight stuff. British Pats fan, what's good? Thank you for joining the broadcast. I'm rolling with Masvidal. His story is absolutely incredible. Coming out of the 305, coming out of Miami, this guy used to fight on Slice's backyard boxing circuit. All right, you know how tough you have to be to fight in that Miami Heat in a backyard like that. I'm serious. That's straight up bare knuckle, no holds barred,
Barbed wire, fuck it.
Yeah, like it's raw. It's gritty. It's crazy. And Kimbo Slice is the one who discovered this kid while bouncing. That's another thing about this kid's background. He's got knockout power. You got to have knockout power to be a bouncer to close in Miami. He's came up over the last, 5-6 years or so. Like I mentioned earlier, the flying knee was absolutely positively lights out. Fastest knockout in UFC history. I do not think that we are going to see something like that again. But this is Street Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. This is Street Jesus. Street Jesus is here to step in that octagon and know what the pure essence of true fighting really is, what it really means to have hands. I expect Diaz to take this to the ground. I know Diaz has been, on that Whole Foods diet and everything, and he's in the shape of his life. But this is the same person that was getting his shit pushed in by McGregor. Time and time again, I get McGregor's in prime form, but I mean, I'm just not seeing Masvidal go down as a lesser man here. This is the bad motherfucker that we've been waiting to see. We will truly see who is who. If you guys have not taken a look at the belt, I am highly suggesting you guys Google images of the belt. The Rock was holding it today during weigh-ins, and it's a bad motherfucking belt.
Jordan loves the thug.
All right. I'm going to agree with Ty on this one, actually. I'm going to go with Nate Diaz. I think they're going to stand up a lot, mainly because of the reach. I know Masvidal knows how to work his way around it, but Nate Diaz does have that 2-inch reach advantage, and I think it's going to come advantage, being that I think it's going to be a stand-up fight.
I like it.
All right, I'm going to stay with you on the next question, man. How good can your guy Kyler Murray be now that you've seen him play half a season?
Can I real quickly just say what on earth happened last night?
Bad management.
It's called awful defense is what happened last night. Jimmy Garoppolo torched our defense. Patrick Peterson played like a below average corner, something that doesn't happen often. And I will openly admit that Byron Murphy doesn't even look like he deserved to be a second round pick this season. He's been non-existent. The only player that showed up on that defense was Chandler Jones got some pressures, and Budda Baker played out of his mind.
Yeah, Budda Baker was everywhere.
But onto the offense, Kyler Murray's going to be limited by Cliff Kingsbury. I hate to say it. He's an offensive-minded coach. Based off of the way he's been, his play calling and everything like that, yes, he's had some amazing play designs. But his situational football has been disgusting.
Imagine if Kingsbury didn't call the timeout. That's a good point, Connor.
Yeah. That's a great what if.
Is he the right coach for you? Follow-up question.
No. I think he's going to do a great job developing Kyler Murray. I think he's going to stay on the team. I'll put it this way. I think he's going to get fired from being the head coach and then come back on the new head coach's roster as the OC.
Interesting. Okay.
That's an opinion of mine because we need talent on the defense. This season's going to be a wash. We're going to go about 6-9-1, I would say, because we have a kind of easy schedule going down.
Keep going.
But Kyler Murray is going to be very good. I think he most definitely has a chance of being an all-pro caliber quarterback because of his dual ability. We saw some of the throws he can make, and he has weapons around him, both young and old. Fitz is giving him reliable hands that's going to help him later on in his career, and he's going to have the relationship with Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella all throughout his career.
Facts. Yo. Isabella, you are not stopping a 4.31.
That dude blew us up last night. It was all nice and quiet, and then all of a sudden, like,
boom! Just oh my gosh! Like, and he really showed his feet. I'm sorry. I know that it was a pass. I know we asked him about it, but I don't know what was happening to them judges.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened to them judges when they were kids, but I think he's faster than Denzel.
Connor, I started him too, and I got clowned by this man right over here.
Go ahead. Live out your Kenyon Drake take. I know that you want to. Let's get it.
Kenyon Drake played amazing.
Shut up. This is a Kyler Murray question.
I do not care. I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. I got clowned for starting this man in fantasy football, and I'm happy, okay?
They're an interesting
David
young
Johnson,
team now.
who? I said it. Yeah.
Damn. Thanks for the thumbs up, Kimmy the Doll. Appreciate you.
Welcome to the stream, Kimmy the Doll. Welcome.
All right, I want to hear you guys' take, and then I got a nice question for Robbie J.
You want me to go? So for me, how good can this kid be?
Yeah, how good can Kyler be?
I think sky's the limit for him. I mean, I'm not going to say like greatest of all time. I agree that Kingsbury might be a handcuff to him. I honestly definitely agree with that, but he's exciting to watch. I'll start with that. Yes, I get that excitement is not necessarily a stat in the books, but me and Robbie have already said it. Like, even if this wasn't as close of a game, Kyler makes these things exciting. That makes him likable. People want to watch him. He will be around. The dude has a 65 completion percentage. He's had games where he's thrown over 70. As a rookie, I mean, that's pretty impressive to me. Like, completion percentage is a huge thing. If you're just throwing the ball around, not caring what it is, that's where I'm losing you. He also throws for an average of 7 yards a play, which means he's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. He's not your average quarterback that's just going to dink and dump 3-4 yards every time. He's looking to go down the field at least a couple times a game and utilize his weapons. We know what his running style is. The dude's got 300 yards already in just the first quarter of the season. That's going to add to it. I mean, he could end as a 1,000-yard rusher by the end of maybe not this season, but for sure and later in his career if he does get the opportunity to run more. I think the sky's the limit for the kid. It's just going to depend how he does and how he takes it. Not sure how I feel. Me and Robbie did question a little bit of them taking the loss and Kyler kind of hanging his head very hard off his shoulders. Don't know if I like or dislike that right now as a rookie. You have to hold your head high that you didn't torch, but did very well against one of the best defenses in the game at the moment. But it is kind of a competitive thing where he took a loss and he's upset. So I think sky's the limit. I'd like to see how he does.
So with that, you have to realize Kyler Murray, he does not because of his. Let's take a look at his background. I feel that culture often helps us understand.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner. This is a guy that had an option between football and baseball. Number 1 draft pick. He was already on a baseball team with the Athletics. He didn't have to choose.
He's already a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
Damn, yeah.
He didn't have to choose. Baseball. Heisman Trophy. We go through all the accolades. This kid is going to hang his head low because he's not looking at himself like a rookie. That's the difference between him, Danny Dimes, Ryan Finley, Dwayne Haskins. That's the difference between all those guys. Because with them, right? With them, they're looking at their coaching and the culture of the teams that they're in are putting them in positions where you're a rookie. Keep in mind, you're a rookie. We have to bring you along slowly. Kyler's not. That's not his mentality. I'm an NFL quarterback.
Kyler came in knowing he was the number 1 pick. They traded away their quarterback to get him. He knew he was coming in as a guy.
So he's entering the mindset of, I'm an NFL quarterback. I'm a first-year NFL quarterback. The title of rookie, that's to him. That's just a title.
Asterisk next to him for him.
Yeah,
asterisk next to him. Yeah.
So for him, I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in the fact that he held his head down. Young man, keep your head up. Understand what you are doing is doing great. I think that you are the quarterback of the future. I think there are more young quarterbacks being developed, very similar to you in the Pop Warner stages, the high school stages, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to slowly come. I think that you're the next best thing. I think that you're going to do great things. You already know that you're doing great things, Kyler Murray. So, keep your head up. You're fine, man. Cardinals fans, you guys, the whole Red Sea, you're in good. You're in good.
I have to say this, Ty. The reason he was hanging his head low is not because of the loss. Yes, he is upset about it. It was the first half for him, is what I heard. He thinks that Cliff Kingsbury did a great job play designing, and he just wasn't able to execute it. They scored that first drive and couldn't score until the first drive of the second half, and he felt that gap.
Really quick, shout out to the student doc over on Periscope checking us out, man. Appreciate that. Like I said, we're live on Twitter, YouTube, Rumboyz.com, and Sportscaster.
Killing it.
Yep.
BKB, you're wrong.
Yeah. What you got next, JD? Sorry.
Oh, you're great. Robbie J, what is going on over there with Trent Williams and the Redskins?
So, interesting enough, if you guys have not already, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to check out my piece on Trent Williams that I dropped yesterday. It's called Trent Williams versus the Washington Redskins, a fan rant. And this piece, it's more than just a rant. It really means a lot, and it means close to home because I put in a lot of investigative reporter work behind putting this piece together for you guys. I go as far into giving you details into what type of cancer, what form of cancer Trent Williams, is stating that he was diagnosed with. I go into what proceedings that the upper management needs to do, so on and so forth. It has came out today from Bleacher Report that the Redskins have asked for the medical records from Williams. That's going to be a big problem. It did just come out today as of about two and a half hours ago. Charlie Castley sat down with NFL Network. I just sent this into the group chat actually. Yep. Hey, this is Football Peacock.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's good, bro?
How's it going, guys?
First, introduce yourself before I continue.
Say what?
Introduce yourself. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Name's Miles. Just a recent writer for you guys. Just like to talk football.
And he does all the articles. That King Steele's article. Class.
Oh yeah, no, we've been seeing we're getting somebody for every team here. Let's go.
But as of about 2.5 hours ago, Charlie Casserly said Trent Williams was advised to have growth checked out 3 years ago bias specialist. Cassidy believes that this is all about money. Cassidy is not only now is an amazing reporter and amazing analyst, but he is a former GM for the Washington Redskins. So he is very close in the organization. This is something that I mentioned in my piece yesterday. There is not a single team in the NFL. I get that our medical staff in the past has been questionable because, infections in players' knees and stuff like that. Darius Skies, Alex Smith, Bryce Love now. I understand that certain things have been questionable in the past. There's not a goddamn NFL team in the whole entire league that if a player has a tumor or a cyst, which those are two things medically that can lead into cancer, that would not advise them to go and get checked out. We saw what happened with the Eric Berry situation. We saw what happened. I'm sorry, Philip Lindsay, James Conner, before they could even make it into the NFL, they had to be cleared, so on and so forth. NFL has the Crucial Catch Foundation. Do you know how much backlash, not just the Washington Redskins, but the NFL would get from Crucial Catch and from,
They had somebody just go out there with this.
Exactly. I'm sorry, this is all about money. Trent Williams, you as an athlete, as a professional athlete, your body is your temple. It is your job to always get a second opinion on something. That's pretty much my take. It's all about money. I guarantee if you had gotten traded, you would have found a way to make that helmet fit on your big ass head.
Definitely. There's 30 some odd other helmets that would have fit his head.
Exactly.
You got choices.
Go ahead.
For me on this one, I mean, obviously this is the Robbie J take. My man has been covering it inside and out since then. But for me, I mean, this is just like, do you want to be in the NFL anymore? Like, that is my big question for him. I feel like you said, I feel like at this point he's been out long enough and he's like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm enjoying myself. Like, you're telling me I could tell them I got cancer and blame this on the Redskins from 6 years ago and I could get paid for this? He's just looking for the money. Like, this is petty, dude. You are one of the best linemen in the NFL. Like, teams were looking so highly to try and trade the Redskins for him at one point, and the Redskins, we thought, were smart for not trading him. Obviously, now looking at it, you'd be like,
no, because we know we would have gotten more backlash now. We traded
or trading him with having it on there still. I get that, but honestly, for this one, I'm just looking at him and I'm like, dude, like, where's your motivation? Like, money is a thing, but like, people looked up to you. Kids looked up to you. Redskins fans looked up to you and were ready and excited for you to come back and help this team in a spot that they needed help at. And now you're out here just blaming the Redskins for this. I don't have any factual things behind it. I mean, Robbie dropped pretty much all of them, but like, this is petty on Trent Williams' part. Like, how
are you going to blame the Redskins for a cancer that, one, is reoccurring? So even though you got the surgery, you got it removed,
it came back.
It's going to come back.
Yeah.
That's that one. Two, for something that is predominantly, it is more so dominant in 60% of African Americans, your chance of you getting it were increased anyways.
Regardless, I mean, my thing is, again, it's petty the way he did this. He should have done this. I don't know whether I would have rather him come out and say this right away before he got his physical, or if I would have rather him talk to the Redskins in a closed room, but he should have done something besides waiting to fail a physical to have this come out.
I say we go Miles next, man.
Go ahead.
What do you guys want to talk about? More NFL here?
Well, yeah, we're talking about the Trent Williams whole situation right now. We go topic by topic.
Like, the question is, what's going on with the Redskins and Trent Williams, and what should they do about it, basically?
Well, they should have gotten something for him when they had the chance. I mean, now that the trade deadline is passed, the whole thing with his scalp issue and the helmet, it's just a messy situation for them right now, and it has been. Their entire freaking medical staff has been an abomination, and the way they've handled all the injuries in their organization, it's a shit show in Washington. That's my take on it right now, just off the top of my head, and it's unbelievable. You don't want anybody to have any medical treatment out in any of their facilities right now. I just don't know what's going on as far as that goes. But Trent Williams, I kind of agree with you guys. It's a money move for him. He wanted to go somewhere else. Like I said, it's crap over there, so he wanted to get out. And that's why the helmet doesn't fit right now, or the shoe doesn't fit, or however you want to put it.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, think about sorry to like just totally interrupt you here, but think about the Warriors right now. They're dealing with the same thing basketball-wise. Iguodala called them out. A lot of guys have called them out. Durant called them out. I mean, people don't want to play for an organization like that, and Trent Williams didn't need to do them like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. I think it falls a little bit on both sides, the player and the organization. So it is what it is, unfortunately, and it's not pretty.
Wow. J Love.
This is the worst organization I have ever seen when it comes to health. Like, Bryce Love, infection. Darius Geis, infection, twice. Alex Smith, infection.
Retired.
Done, career done. I mean, if this is real, which I doubt it is, and completely honest, if he were to be cut today, he'd play this weekend on whatever team he signed.
Yep.
I think it's fake.
You literally come out and he'd be like, "Cancer's gone, guys. It's like an etch a sketch. It's just the guys would just get.
You got to shake it away."
It's a good excuse. It's a good excuse. Not really a good excuse.
It's a great excuse to buy him time for not playing, because people are just going to get more upset in how he said he was going to report but not play for the team. This is just funny in all facets. That's all I can say.
I got a question from the audience. Ready to take that one?
Sure.
All right, Jordan Love. Any chance the Browns can make the playoffs still?
Okay, the thing is, their schedule is so easy. There is a easy chance they go 9-7. Easy. I'm more so looking at coaching. We all know this team has the talent. Baker Mayfield needs to get out of his head. As strong as he is mentally, he's in that thing, and his hard head is keeping himself locked in. The Browns do suck right now. They've had the toughest schedule in the league. If you look at any database that has ranked strength of schedule, the Browns are number one by a landslide. And let me just look it up real quick.
Well, it gets easier for them a little bit later on down the road, but they just played
it starts
New
now.
England, and they have Denver, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh, who's not too bad coming up. So
Buffalo.
their next 3 games, they got to get it together if they're going to do anything.
They're playing a backup quarterback. They're playing a good defense. The Steelers aren't good. The Dolphins are an easy win. The Steelers aren't good again.
Yeah,
the Bengals are awful. They can beat the Cardinals.
You'd
the
hope
Ravens
they win a lot of these games, basically.
Out of every single game left, the Ravens are the only person or the only
Can they
team that I can see
get the wild card? Because we all assume Baltimore is
because of their schedule. Yes, only because of their schedule. Are they a good team? No. I think Freddie Kitchens does pick it up. I think Baker Mayfield picks it up, and I think they need to start kicking the ball to Odell Beckham.
I would like to revisit this.
I think they go 10-6. To be completely honest,
that would be interesting. All right, we'll go to Rumboyz and then
let's go. Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, yeah, you go this time, and then we'll start with you next time too.
Well, the Browns, I think they got some offensive line issues. The defense is decent. You got Chubb there who had a couple of fumbling issues in the last game. I don't think that's going to continue. I think he was trying to cover it up. They played the Patriots. The Patriots are really good. So, like you said, the schedule, I think if they can, you got the backup quarterback coming up next. So that's something working in their favor. If they can contain, that run game and be a stout defense over the next 2 weeks, then yeah, they can survive this and make a run. But it's all, like you said, it's all up to Baker. I mean, he's been playing horrible. I'm surprised he wasn't seeing ghosts, last week, or he pitched it to a defensive lineman. It was like the worst interception I've ever seen in my life. Well, I mean, probably the worst play besides the butt fumble from the Jets, Mark Sanchez, a couple of years back. So, I mean, I don't know. Like you said, the schedule, very important. Baker, very important. Offensive line needs to protect him.
He's second in the league in turnovers, correct?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Behind Daniel Jones? Yeah.
Yep.
I was just double checking.
So shout out to BKB dropping the Dono hype. He gave us a 20 tip over on Sportscaster. He said,
"Hey, BKB."
He's just honest.
Yeah, he said, I'll give you a 20 if you clown Baker. Don't worry, Baker, Faker, Maker. You are not a playmaker. I make more plays here on this goddamn show than you do on the field.
The best Baker in the league is officially Buda Baker, no?
Yeah, the best Baker in the league is Buda
I love that name. Buda Baker.
Dude, here. I do not understand. I said this on Twitter the other day. Miles, I believe that you had retweeted it. Where I was like, or I think you had liked it. Where I was like, I miss last year's Baker. I'm tired of this head low, humble Baker. I want No homo, pause. I want Big Dick Energy Baker.
Take the buck.
Big energy Baker.
Yes, I'm gonna take your other team's flag and I'm gonna stab it in the middle of the field, Baker. I want that Baker back. I want running from the cops Baker back.
Nah, bro.
Running from the cops.
Yeah. Well, the only way he's going to get to do that again is, like I said, with better play. The offensive line has to protect him. They have to kind of scheme the ball. Yeah, they have to scheme the ball over to Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying? They got to get their playmakers involved, and they got to, they just got to be a better team. They got to forget that they're the Browns of last year and the year before or whatever, and
last year they were better.
And grow. Yeah, it's the second half of the season now, so this is the time to do it.
We don't know that yet.
Interesting statistic. They do have the same record now as they at this time that they did last year.
Yeah,
that's true.
In their favor,
we don't know it yet.
In their favor, it is possible for them to make the playoffs, but I don't see the chemistry. I have a game tomorrow. I feel like when I step on the field tomorrow, I have more chemistry with my teammates than what Baker has with his teammates, and they've been together for 8 weeks plus a whole offseason. We just get together and we fucking go out there, put on flags, and play. And I think chemistry is a big thing. Until that they can get that down, this team struggles. And now Kareem Hunt's going to come back. Now you got to figure out how you're going to fit him into the scheme. You haven't even figured out how to work with what you already have.
Good point.
Baker has more commercials than touchdown passes this year.
I saw that.
That is a real stat.
I saw that meme. It was pretty funny.
That's
okay.
good.
Wait.
No, it's like when players get angry and lash out. And then
I gotta clown. I gotta clown somebody real quick. Baker, top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Oh
yeah, Robbie, that was you.
That was him and everybody else on ESPN though. So
not me.
I didn't say that.
Not
either.
me.
I said 11.
I remember when they said Baker was better than Deshaun Watson, and that was like not that long ago. I'm old enough to remember that.
I know. I'm old enough to remember that. I remember when they said, who's going to be better this year, Patrick Mahomes or Baker Mayfield? Just like, what?
It was a question, yeah.
Yeah.
Rough. For me, in regards to do they make the wild card, honestly, I think everything we're saying about them is going to flip the second half of the season. I think that for this team, Baker's the kind of guy that a good game or two of confidence is going to be a huge step for the entire team. And again, we said they should beat the brakes off the Broncos this week. I mean, at least pull the W here, get a couple W's in a row will give them some momentum, but they do not make the wild card. I don't think
Bro, I just realized you said beat the brakes off of him. I haven't heard that shit since 4th fucking grade, bro.
Yeah, that's an old reference.
I mean, hey. I don't think they make the wild card just because they're in their own head too much at this point. Yes, even if they get it together, I can't see these guys playing well together. We haven't seen any chemistry between Odell and Baker. We hope to have seen that. Honestly, I'm still waiting to see that just for the entertainment of Odell being a wide receiver again in the NFL. But I mean, I don't know. I just think they're going to be too in their heads to end the season. And I think, honestly, J Love, you said it, they might go on a run, but I think them losing and having to go against the Ravens to end their season, I think is going to be something where they're just not able to do it. And it's going to be too much. And they're going to be a game or two out. But.
All right. I have to ask, if not the Browns, I think we all can agree that I think the Bills are going to get the first wild card spot because of their easy schedule. That schedule is going to be so light, it's not even funny.
I love Josh Allen up until about week 12 in fantasy. That's just great. He's going to be balling.
So Bills get the first wild card spot. Who gets the second if not the Browns?
I'm going Texans or Colts still.
Here's Jordan Love. I'm going to bring you to a record for that because you just said that they are worse this year than they were last year, but last year they were 7-9. What do you think the Browns' record will be?
I said 10-6. I think the team-wise and chemistry-wise,
So
they are worse. They're taking advantage of an easy schedule. I don't necessarily say that'll make them better.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So they're just going to win more, but they don't look as good.
I don't think they look as good. Last year they lost games by this. They're like the Lions. They're the Lions of this year that were last year.
Even if you win games, you can't. Again, think about what they're saying about the Patriots right now. Who have you played? They can win 9-10 games, and you'd be like, who the hell have you played the second half of the year? But I'm going to
the Bills.
I think Texans are taking the other wild card spot. If not one of those, it will be the Browns. If not
it's bad teams. All right. Let's I think the other question from the audience. Wait, what was Jake Miller's question?
Did anybody see Connor Burke's comment?
I got it. It's a social media question, bro.
Yeah, let's get that.
Yeah, we were hot topic on this. How does social media affect players? All sports, does it help, hurt them? I mean, I know Robbie was going a little bit more of like, should it even be taken away from players, whatever. So just maybe your effect on social media, how you think it affects some players, doesn't affect other players, type of thing.
Yeah, so let the panel go first. Let the panel speak. Miles?
I would say it's all about maturity, the player's maturity. So if you're getting a young guy who's in there who's had a history, maybe you step in and you put something in his contract, or to try to sway him from using it. But you look at Antonio Brown with his situation with the Steelers not that long ago in the locker room, and so I mean, yeah, on the positive side, it does help with the branding of the player, I guess. I mean, look at how somebody like Juju, I know I'm using the Steelers here as an example, but those are guys that are on social media a lot. So it just depends on the player. I mean, Juju's young, but still more mature than someone like Antonio Brown. So
it's Clown. It's Antonio Clown.
So,
Okay, we don't say it's not Antonio, but it's Clown.
Yeah, put some respect on that Clown.
Yeah, I'm never saying that man's name, his full name again. It's done.
He hates me on Twitter. He hates me.
Beautiful.
Really?
Fucking hates
That's
me.
awesome.
That's so happy.
Connor Burke says Colts and Ravens are my wild card. Why wouldn't the Ravens win the division?
Yeah,
the Ravens are sitting at 5-2.
Browns. He has to have the Browns.
The Browns have the switch. Get the record. They're 2-5.
Anyway, I just wanted to address that because he's like, you ignored my comment or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't know about that one, but we'll see. Anyway, as far as social media goes and players, what I think is it's as simple as what are you using it for? Like some people use it for, just to get their opinions out. Some people use it just to complain about their team, which is not good, obviously. And some people use it to sell books and jerseys and T-shirts and autographs and stuff. So, yeah, like you said, it's all about maturity. It's about what you're doing with it. If you're using it to embarrass your team or your organization, then you're an idiot. So, that's just silly.
Man, staying out in the locker room. I mean, hey, whatever you got to do, bro. I mean,
oh yeah, like, and what are you doing there? Like, what are you taking pictures of your boys? Like, hey guys, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Stupid. That was dumb. That was really.
That must be some new shit y'all got popping in Chicago. I don't know, bro.
I guess so.
Hey, nah, chill. nah.
Back it out.
No, I mean, real talk though. I feel so. When I first started Rumboyz, and we started Rumboyz, I had drastically changed my persona on social media because it became a marketing thing, and it constantly became a promotion, like material. Before I was wild on social media, I'd be like, yeah, we about to go out tonight, go fuck some bitches. Like I was like, yo, But now, I don't post any of that. It's all about, like, if I'm not posting about the company, I'm posting about my kids. I may have a little rant here and there.
Yeah, you got some things here and there.
Yeah.
So, but
it's okay to do that once in a while. Just keep it, cool. Or delete it right away.
Facebook too, like it's totally different places,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I feel like that there needs to be a social media class.
Etiquette.
Yeah, that's
etiquette. There it is.
Guys. Coming in, these young guys coming in could maybe, the NFLPA does financial advisement, criminal advisement in case, you get in trouble, like who do you call first, all this other stuff. We saw all that BS. I mean, I love the NFLPA. I'm sorry, it's not BS. But I had to watch it right there. I was like, oh, wait, what did I just say? But take it back. So no, I think they could use like a social media class. I would teach it.
I would teach it.
NFLPA, holla at me. But no, and that could help greatly change it. But I mean, if a player starts doing the Antonio Brown type of stuff, it becomes conduct detrimental to the team. It becomes a distraction. Then there should be something written in the contract that it's like, we're taking your phone for days X, Y, and Z.
I think Cohen's is worse. I just want to say that for a second. I think Cohen's is worse than Antonio Brown.
You know what? It depends on the backlash that Kyle Long got. Are they going to still call him Kyle Long? Or are
That's true. Are they still calling him Kyle Long? Or are they calling him Kyle Short?
Kyle Long got some good press off of that.
Is he still Kyle Long?
That's too good press.
What's up?
Yo,
We're still calling him Kyle Long, so all right.
All right, then it's all good. Never mind.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yo, I'm about to go save the Bears season, motherfucker.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up.
That's what I'm saying.
next question.
Hold up. I gotta drop it. Jake wanted me to drop it for him. I'll do mine real quick. In regards to it, I agree. Like you guys are looking at football, which again, all sport wise, like remember Kevin Durant is a guy that makes fake accounts. Like who knows how many fake accounts dude has? He's on there commenting about like, damn guys, you think Kevin Durant's good? Like he's for his own personal like feelings at this point.
I
Like,
can't even like imagine that.
It's sad. We can't even
Flag on the play.
He actually he responded in a conversation I was in, and I was just like,
cigar? My man came in to pop the cigar. He's gonna leave.
for real though, KD responded in one of my Twitter conversations, and it wasn't to me, it was to somebody in the conversation, but I was just like, what are you doing here?
I'm
It was
saying,
like $100 million. Like, what are you doing?
I remember that.
I totally agree with Mike on this. Maturity is the main focus of this topic. I'm assuming they probably can't put anything in your contract to take it away. But yes, they need somebody in there, almost just like every team should get like a player personnel. Like we need an HR in the NFL. Goddamn, we need a specific HR for each team.
No, that would have been. Listen.
Okay, not that goes
It would
hard.
take stories away from us though.
Whole Antonio Clown thing. Somebody need to kick dude in the dick. Like fuck yeah, somebody need to kick him right in the money makers and be like, look, dude, your career is over if you keep doing this. Somebody needs to kick Kevin Durant. It is a maturity thing. These guys should have their ability to be on social media because, again, it does brand themselves. Maybe they have their own logo, their own t-shirt brand that they have. You got to be able to sell that. You got to be able to make your own money despite, whatever it is. But I agree that maturity is a thing, and I don't know how to fix it, but, like, somebody's got to be there to kick these dudes in the face.
I don't want it to be fixed.
I mean, nobody mentioned the fact that like
It gets us.
I agree. Okay, I agree with that.
Carl Anthony Towns and Ben Simmons stream playing video games.
Yeah, that's fucking
They're on Twitch and YouTube streaming video games just like a normal person. So they market themselves just like anybody else, and it's an outlet for them as well. It's just again.
Like 300,000.
Did you guys read how the statement was worded too when it came out?
Wait, what are you talking about?
What statement?
Do you have headphones in listening to this? That is nowhere on topic, my guy.
What up, yo, Rumboyz, y'all drunk fucks?
TD, what's up?
I'm about to get there. I'm about to go run downstairs to get second beers.
Butchers, are you trying to say something here?
No. So what did I jump into? I thought we were talking about the.
Is social media a good or bad thing for professional athletes?
It can be both.
Yeah, pretty much all of our answers.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
It could be both. Like for Antonio, perfect example of why it's bad.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
No, listen, it's bad. It's bad for people like Antonio Brown.
No.
Well, listen.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Bobby.
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
He's the perfect example of why it's bad because you need to take it away from him because all he does is hurt his own image when he uses it.
True. If I was his agent, I'd be like, bro, give me your phone, please.
If I was ever going to represent him, there should be a clause. There should be a clause in the contract to control that.
He said I retracted the previous statement. Bobby's in the bat cave.
Bro, Antonio Brown's $24 million screenshot ass would go have 6 phones. Oh, here, you could take this one. I'm going to get this one.
I got 2 phones.
Antonio got 6. He got a chain of phones.
One for the rate trial.
Oh, my God. Whoa, next question, JD.
Our next question, and we'll start with Peacock over here. Guy.
Flag.
We're switching over to NBA. We cool with that, or do you want another football question?
If you got one, if not, let's go.
All right, here's NBA. Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns. Ding ding. Who would have won that fight if they were pulled apart? Or if they weren't pulled apart, excuse me. Who would have won that fight, Peacock, if they weren't pulled apart? And who's the better player? Might as well throw that in there too.
I don't know. That one's tough, man. I want to say Karl Anthony Towns, but
He's thicker, huh?
Fuck Joel Embiid, he's a pussy.
yeah,
There's no facts. There's no facts. It's literally who's gonna win.
Yep.
Like there's
There
no.
is fact.
Oh,
It's
that's
called
my
Karl
answer.
Anthony Towns
That's what
tapping.
I'm going with. I
Karl
don't
Anthony
have.
Towns was on the ground tapping.
Ben Simmons did it.
Yo, so
Ben-
Yeah, that was it.
And that doesn't say much for him because Ben Simmons is a pussy too. So if you get tapped out by Simmons,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know which way to go on that one, honestly. I saw the fight, and I'm doing air quotes here. But those are big dudes. If they weren't going to get, somebody was going to tear an ACL before you throw in a punch or something.
Damn.
Who'd you rather have on the team? That's kind of the follow-up question. Who'd you rather have, a Joel Embiid or a Karl Anthony Towns?
I don't know who's doing better in fantasy right now.
Actually,
give me Towns all day.
Yeah, that was my initial answer, so I'll stick with Towns.
Give me Towns all day.
Well, tell us why, Butcher. Who wins the
all right,
fight?
tell us why, Bobby.
Yo, can you imagine the way he just said, Bobby? Tell us why, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Tell us why, Bobby.
Towns wins the fight, and I would take Towns over Embiid.
Propane.
I like it. So Towns and Towns. All right.
Tale of two
Rumboyz
cities.
OG. Who wins the fight and who's the better player?
Hey, yo, I just want to state that nobody ever got away with fucking trying to choke me out like that, and I ain't come back and whoop their ass.
Yeah, so this one on the schedule. Like,
Yeah, is this so we're covering the fight tomorrow, 244. Is this
a prelim?
Is this UFC 245? Like, I don't know. Dana White, book it. Put these two in the cage. I have a feeling though, Joel Embiid is like, isn't he from like Africa or some shit? Like, didn't he like wrestle lions or something?
Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica or something.
I don't know, actually.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but he got an accent, bro, and he sounds like he's from somewhere else. I would put money on Embiid. I think Embiid would have fucked him up.
Who would you rather have on the team?
Oh, give me Embiid all day.
Well, we're split on this one.
Yo, for me, I'm going Cat, bro. Like, if you're Cat, you know Embiid has the worst back in the history of the basketball league, bro. Throw a fucking knee into his back, dude is crumbling. It's over. Like, that's literally all you need to do. Embiid has to be worked out before every game because his back is so bad. Cat, throw a hard fucking jab into the back, end it right there. We see him crumble. We'll see the crying tears like we did after he lost the playoffs. Who would I rather have in the same exact reason? I'm going Cat. Embiid is broken. Embiid will not be a factor in the next 4 or 5 years. His back will fail on him. I'm sorry. He's one of the best players in basketball, but a back injury is a major, major injury. Cat has yet to have that happen. Cat is a young, not even up and coming. People know he's here. Cat can do it all, so I'm going Cat both ways.
So,
Joel Hans Embiid is from Cameroon.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's Cameroonian real quick.
Yeah, that's why.
Look that up.
You gotta catch a monkey or
Oh, you
something.
got it.
No,
You're gonna do the same thing.
That's why Cat tweeted out after the game, "Raised by Wolves," and he had a whole bunch of caps after it. He was making fun of him and mocking him. Ben Simmons was winning that fight. I don't care. He was putting that man Cat to sleep. That man was tapping on the ground. No. Cat. That man is from Australia. He messes around with kangaroos down there. Okay, he's from the land down under. He's winning that fight. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. Ben Simmons win that fight, and I'm picking Cat on my team. End of story.
Y'all know Kangaroo Jack. Ben Simmons put him to sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Crocodile Dundee.
Give me a real question, JD.
All right, let's get a real question going.
Wait, really quick. I just want to state that I enjoyed that fight because it brought us back to the basketball that we watched when we were growing up.
Yes, bring that basketball back.
So I just want to add that.
Reggie Miller, jump in the crowd, knock somebody out.
Give me some Ron Artest any day of the week.
I like that.
Metal World Peace.
Call me a savage if you want. That's fine. Steph Curry broke his left hand. I wrote an article about what the Warriors should do now. What do you think the Warriors should do now, Jordan Love?
Trade D'Angelo Russell. Like I said earlier in the season, you know what you need to do? Tear it down. It's over. Dynasty's done. Keep Steve Kerr. He's a good coach. Draymond Green needs to go. D'Angelo Russell needs to go. I said it. It's done. It's over with. I called it earlier in the year. on one of these
You did. I
streams.
was wrong.
I think it was 2 months ago. I brought up a trade idea of D'Angelo Russell to the Magic, as that was one of the main teams that were interested in him when he was a restricted free agent. Could you possibly entertain the idea of a D'Angelo Russell and, I don't know, one of those random guys like Jordan Poole, who's been made fun of in the NBA so far, just to make some salary work? And then you send that to the Magic for possibly Jonathan Isaac, Evan Fournier, and a first-round pick that'll give you defense, which is something you vastly need, wing depth, and some scoring that isn't coming directly from Steph Curry. And now that he's out, you need that across the team.
I like it.
The Jonathan Isaac take.
I love
that's
Jonathan
why I
Isaac.
put in my article. I just said
Their perimeter shooting has been terrible.
Yeah.
and that's like what they're known for.
Their perimeter shooting has been awful. Have you watched any of their games?
Yeah, they're garbage.
It's been terrible.
I've fallen asleep after the first quarter.
Yeah, no,
Their bench players are just.
I can't stay in it.
Their best bench player is
need
Marquise Chris.
They can't stretch. See, their whole game was that stretch the floor, fast break, wear teams out that way. They can't do that now.
Yeah, they have to tank.
Their whole game plan that carried them through all these titles is history. They don't have the players to do it anymore.
And I also,
they're going to have to
what's the point of
revamp the
having
whole
Steph Curry
system.
come back?
So Bobby, finish it with what would you do? Are you in the same thing as J Love? Would you just?
I'm with J Love. Tear it down, and you got to rebuild. You have to rebuild somehow, and you have to use. Unfortunately, you got to use some of those assets to do that you have on the team that are healthy to do that. So I'm with him. Tear it down. Tank mode activated.
Tear it down.
I mean, for me, maybe I'm just want to look in the other direction just to kind of get a different perspective into it. I mean, I agree that tearing it down is not a bad option. Like, you're literally flipping a coin at this point for me for the Warriors. Like, that's not a bad idea. But for me, I'm not tearing it down. I agree D'Angelo Russell can go. I think he's an asset. I think you can get something nice out of him. And I agree. I'm looking at some kind of wing help, either wing help or go get a primary center, because at this point, that's what you've missed your entire championship run. Steph will come back. Clay will come back. Do your best not to tank the beginning of the season. I don't think they make playoffs, but do your best to try and do what you can. You're in a new stadium. You still have the fans. Hold your bandwagons while you got them. But I'm okay with trading D'Angelo Russell. I think he can bring in a good asset. I'm not trying to lose Draymond Green yet. I think he is part of the fire that is the Warriors, to be honest with you. Do I think his play will decline? Absolutely. Like, beyond defensive player of the year, like not even contesting at this point is what I'm thinking.
What the fuck was you pointing at me?
My bad.
Not even contesting over here.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I don't say tear it all the way down. Wait for Clay to come back. Wait for Steph to come back. Let Draymond Green sit Draymond Green down and be like, look, dude, don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be a fool over the rest of the season. We're gonna suck. Stop talking to the media. Again, take your social media waste. Take all the media away from Draymond Green. Sit him down. Be like, chill out. Trade D'Angelo Russell. Bring in some young guys that can shoot. See where you go from there. So, coaching wise, I'm making changes.
So who would you if you get rid of Russell, right? If you get rid of Russell, who would you dangle him in front of first?
It wouldn't matter.
Orlando.
I like a team that thinks J Love hit it on the head. I like a team that has been playoff contending and have been right there, but haven't pushed the limits. The Magic have been on the threshold, made playoffs the last 3-4 years, and have been that team and are probably like, we wanted D'Angelo Russell. If you remember, he was a major conversation to go to Orlando. That is an easy dangle. J Love hit it on the head. Otherwise, I'm looking at another team like that might need a starting point guard. Shit, the Bucks. I mean, imagine D'Angelo Russell going to the Bucks. Middleton. I mean, hello, like
That would help push them just.
that little bit that they need. A team that has that mindset, like we will give up some rookies, we will give up some older veterans that can shoot. let me get a young guy that can do what he has to do. Those are the two.
How old is Bledsoe? How old is Bledsoe?
He's up
29,
there. He's up
20,
there.
29, 30.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just. I thought 29.
Would you do you think you could pull a straight off trade?
29.
Bledsoe for
Not worth it at all.
I want more than Bledsoe. That is going backwards for me. Bledsoe adds defense, but he doesn't add the shooting, what you need, and the offense that you need right now. Defensively,
but see, Bledsoe's good at distribution, and I think that team could benefit from that. Big
they
time.
need offense right now. They need offense right now. They're
What
too-
about
I would do
what about the
Middleton
Hornets?
for Russell.
So what I want to say is yes, we're Warriors absolutely keeping it on topic. For Warriors, blow the whole thing up. Also, with that, there would be nothing more fulfilling than to watch our friend Peter, DJ Seismic, than to sit back and watch him crumble because the Warriors are ass, and just for him to have to accept that the Warriors are ass.
He's a Raiders fan. It's easy to watch him.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. This is even more. This is adding
I
salt
hope you're in
into
the
the
chat,
wound.
just so you know.
This is adding salt into the wound. Absolutely positive. Blow it the hell up. In terms of D'Angelo Russell, yes, trade away Russell. See what other value is out there for you, because value is important in any sport. I don't care what you're paying. Also with that, Steph Curry's going to be out. Going to be out for the next 3 months. That's a big detriment. Like I mentioned, take away Draymond Green's social media, because he has to be a leader right now. And if he does not step into the leadership role, then this team is definitely having to be forced into tank mode. Don't tank as hard as like the Hornets or anything like that, because you still have a legacy to uphold. But do your damnedest to go out there and win games. But know what the future upholds. Try and get a middle of the pack draft pick, and that's when you can really probably get away with winning the draft.
Know that despite your team looking like it's going to tank this year, a solid draft pick, even 14, 15 draft pick to a team that brings back Steph, Clay, Draymond next year, could go back to a contending team.
You know what upsets me the most about Draymond Green, right? If he could ever be the same person he is on the court, off the court, because the guy does all the little things right on the court. You know what I mean? All the little things he does right. He's a scrapper. You know, if he could ever be that same dude off the court, like, that would be ridiculously beneficial for the Warriors. But he off the court, the guy's just he's a loose cannon.
I like Draymond Green's contract, honestly. I really do. It's only like 20-some million, and it's
Like 18,
like
19.
Because let's be honest, on the court, he's phenomenal. He does, like I said, he does all the little things right.
But he's not worth a big contract. He's worth like a pretty good contract. He's not worth a huge one.
$20 million for a player that could be. I don't think he is this year. I think with the Warriors, I do not at all think he's Defensive Player of the Year, but has the potential to be Defensive Player of the Year and has that score and can bring that defensive front.
Good passer.
He is worth a solid amount of your money if you were.
Yeah, just not to bankrupt you. Like, that's what they got him for. So I don't hate him on the Warriors.
No, for what they got him for and for what they're getting out of him, that was a great deal.
For sure. It just sucks that for them it sucks. I mean, for everybody else it's great, but it just sucks. See, Karam says what I wrote about, the Warriors should start tanking. I mean, yeah, like we've been talking about, it's just they should look for what they can get out of this season. So the next topic, and we'll start with Peacock, my guy Peacock down there, doing snake order, switching it up. Let's see.
Hit me with it.
Where is it now? Yes. Okay. Anthony Davis dropped 40 points and 20 rebounds, but after the game, he said his shoulder was very sore. Big deal or no deal?
I would say it's a moderate. You're not really worried right now. He's not. I don't think he's been ruled out of any games at this point. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think if anything, he misses maybe a game or two tops, but he's fine. He's not going to injury eligible or anything like that. He should be okay. He's a big dude. I know that he's had some shoulder issues, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think you'll be fine. I'm starting him in my fantasy lineups everywhere, and I'm not worried. So I didn't even make any pickups. So I'm good and I'm rolling. I won last week. We're in week 2, so let's see how it goes.
I'm with it.
He's balling.
Bobby.
Bobby, I think. Isn't it Bobby's turn?
I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal either. I think it's the beginning of the season, beginning of the NBA season. It's like everybody's gonna they're getting back into the swing of things. Like that's all I chalk it up to as.
I'll tell you right now. He has 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. So he's doing all right.
I don't. Yeah, like I don't. I'm not gonna put anything into that at all. I'm not gonna put any. That's just beginning of the season, getting back into the swing of things. That's all that is. I wouldn't put any concern in that at all.
All right, Ty, and then I want to hear from Robbie about this one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also going with the two fellas that have already gone. I'm not thinking it's a big deal here. To be honest with you, I think the NBA has finally come to the point where they realize our players should not play a full 80-plus games to save for playoffs. Kawhi's already doing load management. What are we, 5 games into the damn season? Like, are you kidding me? I think this is just going to be a situation where, yes, maybe he misses time for a shoulder injury. And again, I'm pulling quotes on this, but I think this is just load management. They're going to chill LeBron out, at least for like the second half of the season. Anthony Davis is still going to come in. The dude is still going to put up points. He's still going to put up rebounds. It's Anthony freaking Davis. But I don't think it's a big deal. Him saying he's got a sore shoulder. Sit out a game or two, bro. I mean, we expect you to do it anyways. We don't expect anybody that thinks they're making playoffs to make, a full 80 games at this point. That's going to be a rare thing going for the rest of the history of the NBA, which is sad, but it is what it is. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think they're still just going to let him monitor it, and he's still going to play. So I'm not looking at the deal.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just absolutely positively not a big deal. 100% is not a big deal. This guy, Anthony Davis, he's going to tough through this. He's just going to – the shoulder's probably still tender, if anything, and he probably knows in the back of his mind, cool, I tough through, and I'll be good to go. I'm not saying a big deal. Also, speaking on what you mentioned, players are already starting to go like load management and deal with their type of BS. I just don't see him being that type of guy for us. He wants to make sure that the Lakers compete and the Lakers do the damn thing. We're here for championships, ladies and gentlemen. You can't spell LA. Hey, there's no law in Clippers. No, you can't spell Lakers without LA.
There you go.
All right then.
Wow. Yeah, so
it's Chip Robbie for Boston and LA. It's chips or nothing.
Exactly.
Chips with a dip.
Anthony Davis is playing right now. The Lakers are playing the Mavericks right now, and Anthony Davis is playing, and he in the first quarter so far has 7 points. He's not missing a beat. He's going to continue playing. If it does get progressively worse, he's going to miss a game or two. It's Anthony Davis. He almost always does. He comes up with these little knick-knack injuries almost constantly. And no matter what, he's going to tough through it.
It's a huge deal, and you're all wrong. You're all wrong here.
JD
is the resident conspiracy theorist.
Year. He's hurt every year, and and this is why he doesn't make the playoffs. And this is why the Lakers fans should be mad that they traded all those assets just for this guy who can't stay healthy. He's already hurt 5 games in. He's already like, oh damn, my shoulder. He's like me, guys. Like he has a bad back every year. All right.
Okay, wait.
You don't just recover from that.
Joke on his fucking cell phone. Hold up.
Hey, the best thing about yourself, JD.
JD, he's always hurt.
He has never played more than 65 games.
What do you mean? He played 75 games back to back in 16 and 17.
Let me look this up. I'm pretty sure that's right.
I'm looking at it right now.
Aside from last year, he has played. And he didn't play
every single. Okay, he's never missed more than 21 games
He's missed
in his career. He's never missed more than 21 games in the year. Besides last year when he missed like 15 games because they rested him. That's why.
Him on purpose to throw him over.
Exactly. He comes up with knick-knack injuries. Every player does, except for he just sticks him out, and he misses parts of games because he's on a bad team and he doesn't want to get hurt all the time.
He's always hurt.
He's always
hurt.
nicked up. I don't care.
He's always-
Anthony Davis is going to play through this no matter what.
Okay, this is what I meant to say. He's only had 2 seasons where he's played more than 68 games. Like literally, he gets hurt every year and misses like 3+ games. And you're like last season he did get. It is a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, we can move on. But it's a big deal.
Hashtag fake moon landing.
The world is flat.
The world is flat. Damn it! You heard it from Kyrie Irving. He's right. All right. Anyway, it might not be that big of a deal, but I think it is.
It's
All
not,
right, guys.
It's not my fault.
JD, wait. Follow up for JD. How big of a deal is Steph Curry's hand for you?
Huge.
Massive.
Yeah, 41 games easy that he's going to miss.
Did you rely on this much?
He drools over Steph Curry. I had to ask. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, geez, he gets hurt a lot too. Steph Curry gets hurt a lot too.
Guys, really quick, I want to say I'm super impressed with Miles State tonight. Like, it's super rare when people can come on the show, like this show specifically, because we do a lot of different stuff, and keep up with all the different sports. Like, my man's is rocking with it, bro. That's why he's a rum boy.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I try to, I'm into a lot of different fantasy stuff, and I got a homeboy that I do a podcast with on Saturdays. So we go through our home league, and we talk about all the players, and, we distribute it to, everybody. I just got it on Anchor, I think, like 2 weeks ago. So it should go through, like, on all the other stuff pretty soon. But give it a listen.
Yep. Shoot me a DM. We'll get you
one time.
Website. We'll get you a. We'll
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course.
All right. Next question. Well, since we got Peacock last time, we'll finish him and we'll go with J Love this time. And it is actually we'll finish up one basketball question and go back to football. So a few more of those. Triet says he asked the questions. What do you guys think of none? Well, I just want to ask you simply, what do you think of this rookie class? Who's your guys for the rookie class? Give me a couple names.
None.
Morant.
This rookie class coming up sucks.
Well, this current one that we're in, the one that just got drafted.
No, yeah, the one that just got drafted.
If I brought the flag, I would have thrown it.
I ought to slap you. Excuse me? I get it.
Pretty good.
He's mad because he's a Celtics fan, and the best rookie he has is Carson Edwards. It makes sense now.
They got Edwards and Fall.
Okay, look. This class is bona fide by Zion Williamson, who's going to be a bust. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, well, he's hurt.
And John Morant. John Morant is going to be the best player in this class, hands down. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. He's probably the most athletic player in this class because he plays the most games. Other than Zion, Zion's clearly the most athletic, but he's going to play more games. He's going to be the most athletic on a day-to-day basis. He's the most skilled player in this class. He has the passing IQ of a top-tier player. He can get to the basket, and he finishes above the rim. I said it. He's my rookie of the year. He's, in my opinion, it's all going to go through him.
He's already dropped 30 points in a game, so he's right on track.
What about RJ Barrett?
He's been less efficient.
RJ Barrett is a chucker.
Yeah.
He's a chucker. He's a chucker. He's going to take 17 shots a game his rookie year and make
He's going
7.
to get those shots, too.
He's going to go 7 for 17 his whole rookie year, shoot 1 for 6 from 3, I'm sorry, he's Andrew Wiggins. He's Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins with the ball all the time.
He's Andrew Wiggins.
I'm about to break out my phone. So
on off the ball, Andrew Wiggins.
And Kobe White's been the most inconsistent rookie so far. He had a 29-point game opener, and he scored, I think it was 12, 7, and 5. I'm a Bulls fan too, Ty. I'm sad, but he's been so inconsistent.
You know what?
They've been bad.
When looking at a rookie, I would rather, not necessarily that I would rather see inconsistency, but I would rather see the ability for you to be able to do this and know that you can develop your game into that instead of like, where the fuck have you been, man? Like, are you put up 10 points? Like,
I'm completely opposite from all of you guys. We know Bobby's a salty Celtics fan right now because they have Carson Edwards. They're not using him to his full abilities yet. But she has plenty of time to change this argument, by the way. I'm going Tyler Hero. I'm going Tyler Hero. This dude has all the makings down there in Miami to really be the star there for years to come. 16.4 points per game, two assists per game. From the 3-point percent, he's 35.7%. He's going to eventually get better and better and better. I'm advocating for Tyler Hero. I'm advocating for Hero. And I hate UK players, by the way. So
that was a painful take for him. I'll tell you guys that right now. That was a painful take for him. I mean, I'm going John as well. I mean, the dude has come in and what we thought he would. His bounce is freaking real. The dude is going to be entertaining. Honestly, look for him to probably be in the dunk competition. Like, he is going to put asses in seats. He is going to get W's down the road. That's like, this isn't necessarily a Grizzlies team that I'm looking at as playoff contending or going somewhere, but he is going to be a guy that people are going to look at, and I like where the kid's going. I think without Zion, I think the kid can be here, no problem. But I mean, I'm looking at Nunn. I know you said Hero, but I'm looking at Nunn down in Miami. The dude has come out of nowhere. He has been putting it up. I literally I picked him up in fantasy because I could not believe some of the stats that the kid was putting up. So
Hero was a highlight reel, but Nunn is amazing.
I mean, like, just out of his last couple games, 24 points, 18 points, 25 points, 17, 28. I mean, he's averaging 23 points a game, and nobody knew the kid's name coming into the league. So
exactly. That's what's so impressive.
Everybody up.
Welcome, Packers Nation number 12. Appreciate you watching.
There's a name I want to see somebody mention, and I hope they mention it.
Go ahead.
Bobby, go.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is on Bobby.
I already gave my take.
Well,
okay.
order.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
Well, I'll just real quick. I'll just say, like, I'm with you guys on the flying Nunn.
Hey, son, keep it up, bro. You're gonna be grounded in a minute.
Read my comment on YouTube, and I already gave you my response. I already gave you my response to that.
All right.
Yeah. Go back in the YouTube comments.
No, I just said real quick. I'm with you guys on the flying Nunn. The guy's amazing. He's cool. Some of the great names that you guys mentioned in the rookie class. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody mentioned PJ Washington. I know that Charlotte sucks, so maybe nobody's talking about him. But he could be a surprise name that you might want to just maybe glance at. But that's really all I got on that. Nothing major. I haven't really been keeping up too much. I've been diving into football, and of course, been writing for you guys lately. So. I'll try to brush up on all that stuff.
Peacock, does Washington see enough volume though to make a difference down there?
Well, yeah. I mean, he put up like a 20+ point game. He can do it. I mean, I like you said, I don't know. Maybe not consistently, but like I said, with Zion out, he's just another name that I thought I might just throw out there because we hadn't really talked about it.
Because that would be my biggest concern is the amount of the consistency that he, the consistency would.
Right.
No, but I mean, Bobby, he's right. There's nobody down in Charlotte. I mean, there is nobody. So if he consistently has good games, at least puts up 20-point games, they'll give him the minutes. They'll give him the opportunity. There's
early. So we still got to see.
So no one mentioned Michael Porter.
Who?
What the fuck? That's a Ben Simmons thing, bro. Yeah. Is he a rookie? Is he not a rookie?
He's not a rookie.
Okay, you can go there with that. You can go there with that, but still, he's a guy that needs to be talked about.
I'm with you, dude. I'm super fucking excited for him. I am extremely hype on him. I could not fell to the Nuggets. He's gonna be great.
Right on. Let's go over to actually. You know what? Before we do that, let's have our NBA hot take.
Can I make a bold take for the Celtics? Real bold.
Oh my God.
Actually, this is actually perfect for this.
Perfect time.
If they don't, listen here.
All right.
If these two players don't perform this year, they're gone. They'll trade them for something else.
All right, that's your hot take. Wait, which two
Brown
players?
and Hayward will be gone at the end of the season if they don't perform. Both will be gone.
Sign Jaylen Brown. You just signed Jaylen Brown to a huge contract.
Yeah, that'd be not crazy.
All right,
I don't see that as a hot take.
Both will be gone.
And Gordon Hayward's leaving anyways. That's not a hot take.
He's gonna
bold take. Well, we kind of talked about it earlier. I'd say that the Warriors don't decide to tank, and they keep Draymond as the centerpiece, and they use the the supporting cast that they have there, and maybe they get rid of Russell and they get some pieces. But the good stuff, by the way, Burke. But like I said, yeah, the good stuff. Sorry, you threw me off for that. What were we talking about? But that's my hot take.
That was solid. Just any hot take you got.
So basically, you still have faith in the Warriors.
Yeah, maybe. Well, no, I really don't like the team. Maybe I don't see any faith, but I do. Steve Kerr's a great coach, like we mentioned earlier. So, maybe they won't, go all in. I know that's what everybody's thinking, but I don't know. It's kind of. I feel like it's bad on people. I'm a competitor. I know you guys are competitors. Tanking's hard and it sucks, and you don't want to be there. So it's like you said. Maybe it's like one of those middle of the road type of tankings where they try to win some games and do it. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe they don't go full on tank, but my hot take would be that they go for it. And they see if maybe they can make a run for the playoffs. So it's still early. You don't know what could happen. Maybe the young guys can step up.
It is still early. It's a competitive West. All right, Bobby, you said that Brown and Hayward would be traded if they don't ball out this year.
If they don't perform.
Okay.
Oh, that's a hot take.
The love doctor.
Holding.
It's this time, J-Lo.
Okay. I actually have a hot take on somebody down there. I'm gonna go Damian Lillard wins MVP.
MVP.
I'm gonna say the Blazers are gonna be a top 4 seed in the West. I think that they finish as that great team.
Wait. Did you get into some alcohol in mine or some shit?
Yo, that's not a bad take.
That's not a bad take.
The Trailblazers will be a top team. Lillard being MVP is a hot take, but the Blazers are absolutely not.
The Blazers are a great regular season team. They've shown it profusely throughout the past few years. They're always a top 5 seed. I think they can take that jump, getting wing depth in the Nasir Little through the draft, picking up Hassan Whiteside. Yusuf Nurkic is going to be coming back around the All-Star break. This team has added weapons, and they've gotten rid of some awful contracts that make this team better. And Damian Lillard, of course, is the centerpiece. And if they are a top 3 seed, I think Damian Lillard completely deserves an MVP, leading that team to a stacked Western Conference.
What's their cap space look like?
I know they got rid of Evan Turner's awful contract,
Yeah.
but they also picked up Kent Bazemore, which is actually bigger. Evan Turner's on a $16 million contract, and Kent Bazemore's on an $18.
So there's probably not a lot of wiggle room there. So they're going to have to wheel and deal instead of just using money.
Bobby, this is the team that's been doing this the last couple of years. They've only added things like Whiteside. They still have McCollum. They still have Lillard. They still have the team that has been putting it together. They just need to do it, which, again, that's what J-Love is saying is they can, and I believe that they can as well. I'm totally with that.
I still think they got a couple of years to go.
It's the Rumboyz.
They don't have a couple
I got one
years.
that's going to make you guys hate me.
For me, again, I don't know if this is a hot take, especially if you guys have kind of looked at the standings and been watching these guys, but I'm saying in the Eastern Conference, the Hawks and the Heat are both top 5 seeds and are teams to beat. Top 6 seeds, and are teams to beat in the East. The Hawks and the Heat.
If Young can stay healthy, I agree with you 100%.
If he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's every team. That's every team in the NBA, but yes.
No, you're right.
Yeah, right now he tweaked his ankle, but he says he's going to be all right, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I like the way they're moving, and obviously I love the way the young Heat are moving, and I think Jimmy Butler is only going to thrive with those young guys and give them the mentality that he has and be in the gym at 4 a.m. to work out when practice starts at 8, something like that,
Right. I like Butler. I like Butler's edge, the attitude that he brings.
So my hot take has nothing to do with the Lakers, surprisingly.
I hope not.
I know,
Yeah.
shocker. Every hot take about them has been dropped already. My hot take is that the Houston Rockets are going to be more functionable than what everyone actually believes. The reason why I support this take and the reason why I support this theory is that Brody and Harden, the Beard, they're going to be getting very cohesive, just as if they were back in OKC. I think that they can probably make a push as at least a top 3 seed. They're going to be a lot better than what the hell any of us think. They're going to get together. They're going to figure out that, hey, I'm not going to have a triple-double every night. Hey, I'm not going to be able to kick my feet out a million times to go free throw line because I don't need to do those things anymore because I have you here and we know how to work together. So I think that they're a lot better team than what everyone is really expecting. Everyone is expecting one of the two to be a ball hog, and I actually think that that's not going to be the case.
I'm telling y'all that.
I like
Yeah.
that take.
Is
Me
Trae
too.
Young future MVP? I like it.
No.
Hell yeah, Trae Young's a future MVP. Not now, but soon.
I know.
Two more years.
I think there's a
No.
lot.
My hot take: Lakers
No.
missed the playoffs.
Wow.
Damn!
You're a dick.
I was like, this one's gonna make Robbie hate me. I know. That's what I said. Lakers,
I mean,
they
based
just
off of-
miss it, just
based-
barely.
Based off of his Anthony Davis take, it makes sense.
It does make
I think Anthony Davis. That's exactly why too. I think Anthony Davis has health problems. Then they rely on Bron a lot, and then you get into trouble again. That's what happens.
Shady dropping facts and hard topics. Look at this.
I mean, maybe
Well,
I'm
for my
wrong.
fantasy team, I hope you're
AD stays
completely
healthy.
wrong.
Yep, I know, right?
So his take was the Lakers will not make the playoffs.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
leaning towards. I don't think they will.
Don't put that in the air.
Do you not have headphones?
Don't put that in the air.
Hey, can I shout out Bobby for turning the light on to flip Robbie off and then to turning it back off? That made my night, dude.
That was pretty funny.
That was great. Like he literally beep.
Celtics.
Oh yeah.
Let's
All right,
go.
JD, keep it rolling.
All right, next one. Going over to the NFL. John Elway's QB decisions so far have been questionable besides Manning. What do you make of Denver's QB situation going forward? And what would you do here if you are basically the ownership of the Broncos? And I think who we leave off on? Was it Jordan Love?
J-Lo.
For the
All right.
Saints?
I'm so glad I get to start this.
That's how you know it's like, I am so glad I get to start this.
John Elway,
J-Lo
He's
about
an-
to eat.
awful scout. He's an awful scout. He gives QBs and everybody on his team awful contracts. He doesn't make a great team. His quarterback mind is from the 18th century. He's literally trying to make a team that modeled his championship team when he won. A strong arm quarterback that is semi-mobile, who can not read defenses and wins based off of his arm talent and not any kind of brain. And they ride a defense. But he doesn't draft good defenses. His offensive lines are awful. He took Garrett Bowles, a guy who everybody had questions about, in the first round. And you know who was taken 12 picks later? Ryan Ramczyk, an all-pro tackle that was drafted by the Saints.
Hey, they can run the ball.
It is preposterous how bad this guy is at his job. His best draft pick as a quarterback was Trevor Siemian, a 7th-round pick. And I said it earlier, the best thing he's ever done is pick up Philip Lindsay, and that's only because he was in their youth program as a kid from middle school. That's the best thing he's ever done.
He was already there. It was
Gifted to
This
him.
motherfucker
He's
drafted
backyard.
Paxton Lynch.
He didn't screw up the Lindsay thing.
He
They
couldn't.
screwed up the Lindsay
He
thing.
literally
Like, what's
couldn't.
going on there? They have
He was
Freeman
from
and
Denver.
Lindsay.
He could not.
Exactly.
The kid was from Denver.
All right, take it away.
Worst
Rumboyz.
GM in
Sorry.
NFL history.
So, all right. So, living here in Colorado Springs, I get the unfortunate. You guys know me. I love organization. I love leadership. Things of that nature. Living here in the Denver area, here in Colorado Springs, I get to see a lot of this BS firsthand. And honestly, it's quite annoying. I thought that when I moved here, I was like, oh, like I'm gonna live in a place where people are actually happy about their sports. Like they walk through the supermarket and they're okay with it.
No.
Like I can be a fan of the Skins. Like no one's gonna fucking people don't really give a fuck, which is true. Well, that part. When it comes to the Denver Broncos, Elway, your head is so far up your own ass, okay, that you really need to take a look, pop that motherfucker out, and look at what's around you. If you're not the guy, listen. Prime example. I don't know how to do graphic design or the other stuff. All the backgrounds and thumbnails that get done for our show, I have someone that does that. I don't have enough time to be able to write articles, but I know that I want to be able to put out articles for the Rumboyz. I have 3 people on this panel that are all writers. Shout out to Peacock. Shout out to J Love. Shout out to JD, Rumboyz Central. If you are not the guy, go and fucking find somebody. That's what a great leader does. That's what a great entrepreneur does. You know, and when you are in the NFL, you are a GM, you are essentially in the role of entrepreneur. Okay, so you are running a business. The fact that you bring in, I can't remember his last name, but this Brandon Allen. You bring in Brandon Allen, and you got Ripon right underneath him when you just drafted Drew Lock and you are doing absolutely zero shit to groom this kid. After I spent time, granted, it was on Sportscaster, we went there, but I interviewed this kid and I bet this kid, and I feel like, yo, if he's tailored the right way, some good things can happen, some good shit can happen. And I'm sorry, Elway, you're pissing away a draft pick right now, like you've done for every other quarterback. I feel like Gridiron Height pictured you as freaking one of the cult leaders, and you sacrifice a quarterback every once a year. I understand now. It is what it is.
Yo, that was amazing. I'm
passion.
Again, I think honestly we're all gonna have the same type of take on this. Look, Elway, you need to retire at this point from your position before you start having to go to whatever the hell they're gonna name Mile High at this point. We're gonna start switching names every year.
It's now named after a retirement home.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going with Mile High. I'm saying Mile High. Feel better about being here. So you need to retire before you walk into Mile High and you get shit thrown at you. Because we're at that point now. Like, trust me, we live out here. People are not happy with this. You clearly do not have the scouting ability to bring in a quarterback. Your type of quarterback that you clearly keep looking for, non-mobile, big quarterback, big arm, that has left the goddamn station. That thing is far as hell away at this point. Like, look at Kyler Murray. We talked about how he could be the next movement of football. Look that way a little bit more. He clearly cannot do it. He doesn't have anybody in his ear telling him that it's not working, or he's telling him to shove it. So you need to retire before at this point you are hated by Broncos fans, because I would enjoy the legacy you have, because people look at you as a great quarterback and they're about to be like, yeah, you're a shitty GM and we're not interested in you. So
any one of us could still run any of our own podcasts and all of our own writing and everything and still go do the scouting for the fucking Denver Broncos at the same
be better.
And still do a better job, bro.
Yeah.
I see a couple of able-bodied scouts right here. Go ahead, boss.
Denver, hire me.
So Denver, we're talking about John Elway. Well, like I said, I was talking about bad organizations before with the Washington Redskins when we were touching upon that subject when I first jumped in on the stream here. So I think that they're right there with it. John Elway. There's a street named after him, I think. I don't know what's going on over there. He has a restaurant. It's all about him. Like you said, he kind of needs to get his head out of his butt. He needs to move forward and be progressive with his quarterback. I mean, like you talked about, you have mobile guys that move, especially if your offensive line is shoddy. Look at what the Houston Texans did with Deshaun Watson. Like you mentioned, Kyler Murray. Even the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, who can run the damn football, are having great success. Lamar Jackson. So maybe there's a new breed, a new style of QB, and he needs to get out of that old frame of thinking, that old state of mind, and progress. And if not, like you said, he needs to step out of that position and give this team a chance.
Thank you.
Linebackers are
You
bigger.
guys take on this, Bobby?
QB doesn't work anymore.
What's fucked up is that he drafted
Elway is a perfect example. Elway is a perfect example of a good player, bad coach. Bad talent evaluator, bad coach. He's tried multiple times. Multiple quarterbacks have failed miserably. The guy, whoever talked about the legacy, like he needs to retire, because the legacy right now, it's already starting to go down. They're already starting to, the fans are already starting to turn on him, because this is an organization-wide failure too. It's not just him; it's from the top down. Like, they need to get it together, and they need to realize, like, big, tall, big body, pocket passer quarterbacks are a dying breed. They're a dying breed.
Top down. It's not a top down. They've had a defense. They've had receivers. They've had it all. Elway,
No, I'm talking organization. I'm talking organization wide. Like they need to realize that like they need to tell Elway that, like, the top needs to tell Elway, clearly you're looking for the wrong type of quarterback. those big body, big arm, those purely pocket passing quarterbacks are a dying breed now.
I want to second what you just said.
I was gonna say John always the type of dude that doesn't appreciate a girl till she's gone.
Ooh.
Slap is dropping.
I like that. I like that.
And he's a Broncos fan.
Yes, slap is
I'm gonna disagree with you guys in a second.
It's crazy though. Like how many times is it going to take the fans and the organization of letting John Elway try and pick a quarterback and failing? Like, it's been what, 4 now? Like four times he's tried to pick a quarterback and failed. And
you know what, Bobby?
Not just failed, but failed miserably.
He could fail 10 more times because he's John effing Elway, and he's brought more championships to the city of Denver than anyone in it. Period. He's brought more championships to the city of Denver than anyone. Period. So he can fail 10 more times. He has the equity to fail.
JD, you said Peyton Manning wrong. You said Peyton Manning wrong. Peyton Manning did all that.
No. I said
you're talking about old.
What's that?
Hey, JD.
No, I didn't say that. I said the only decision he made recently that was good was Peyton Manning. And that's true. He's made a lot of bad decisions, and I agree with Robbie where he said he needs to find someone to delegate. The delegation's huge for him. Yeah. But for him to just be fired or all this stuff, it's like, dude, he went to 2 Super Bowls in the last, 10 years. So
stop living
How many Super Bowls have the Bears won?
Walk away from this stage and fuck this.
Fuck that old dinosaur. Fuck that old dinosaur.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I needed to play devil's advocate there because you need to put some respect on his name a little bit.
And it was a god, bro.
Exactly.
Fucking Denver.
JD.
Denver.
JD.
What's up?
JD.
What up? Oh.
Still smoking a cigar. He's been smoking that same cigar.
Honestly, the biggest problem for the Broncos was that Peyton did win the Super Bowl.
Can't even spell
quarterback, just like what he usually brings in, and Peyton managed to have a good enough defense to win the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate problem.
He went to 2 also, so
fucking works.
I don't know.
It don't work.
Next question.
Okay, let's see here. That's a good question, though. I like that one. So we already asked about.
I can't believe you actually. Oh my god.
Hey, I pulled it off pretty well, Jordan Love. I pulled it off pretty well. I didn't necessarily believe half of what I was saying, but I pulled it off.
That was an accurate Broncos fan.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's the Broncos version of Bobby.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo okay? So somebody frame the question a little bit because they asked the question in the chat, but I'm going to frame it better.
Awesome, baby.
So Jimmy Garoppolo is pretty much seems to be like the catalyst for them winning. His stats are not necessarily overwhelming at all. I'm going to start with Peacock on this one. His stats are not overwhelming at all, but at the same time, he's getting it done. He's winning. He's only lost 2 or 3 games with the Niners so far since he's been there.
In his entire time with them?
16 and 2. 16 and 2, I think.
Oh my God. I was looking at some ridiculous record. So is it him or is it just the system? What is it?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that did you see that clip of him on Thursday night or last night? Or he had the interview with Aaron Andrews. I love that, man. It's awesome, baby. That was a great reaction.
It's Aaron Andrews. I'd say that too.
Yeah, Jimmy GQ, he's been great. I mean, he was a good quarterback. I think, when he played with the Patriots, I know that Jacoby Brissett was also kind of groomed under that system. Those guys are winning football games. I think that he's good. He's not just a game manager. I know that that's kind of what it seems like, but you got to take that game that they played in the rain against Washington kind of out. You couldn't do anything. They've been leaning on the run game when they have to, and when it's been successful. Some of those runs have just been long breakout runs by, some of the guys. So they haven't had to ask him to do much. But if you kind of looked at them last night against the kind of shabby defense, and then it kind of turned into like a little shootout, this guy can do it. He can sling it. He was putting the ball in places with Emmanuel Sanders and some of the other receivers. He was making good decisions. He's been checking in audible in place at the line. So he's a good quarterback, plain and simple. And I don't care if you want to fight me on it. That's fine. But I like Jimmy G. He's a good looking dude. He's sharp out there on the field. I mean, what's not to like about him?
Connor's too right.
What do you think, Bobby?
I got a take on Jimmy too. can't wait for my turn.
It is your turn.
It's your turn, buddy.
All right, so last night, like I agree though, like last night they leaned on Garoppolo. They did. They had to lean on him a little bit, and it was good to see because you could physically watch him go through his progression. He would start on one end of the field and then work his way all the way across, and if there was nobody open, he would dump it off. So this was the first game where they actually had to lean on him more than I think they wanted to, and he performed pretty good. It was a dogfight game, and Arizona. I said Arizona would keep it close, and they would give him a fight. And
Drake.
Yeah, they had to lean. They had to, the Niners had to kind of lean on him a little bit, and I think he performed great. From what I saw, he went through the reads good. He didn't make too many stupid mistakes, stupid throws when he instead of throwing into too tight of a window and trying to fit a football where it shouldn't go, he would throw it out of bounds. Like that's veteran instinct that he used, and I thought he looked pretty good when they clearly needed him to kind of carry the team a little bit. He did a good job. So I thought it was a pretty good game on his part. Some of the defense not so much. Like the defense obviously wasn't kind of playing up to par, so they had to lean on him, and I think he did good.
That was your hot take you were so ready for?
No, I thought he did well. Like that was the first game I actually saw him go through.
Okay, I remember he's back, so Bobby's going to, yeah.
Okay, I get you. Okay, I didn't put that on the reels. In regards for me, I mean, how did Jimmy do? He did what he had to do. There is a thing in football. You are either the Chiefs and you throw the fuck out of footballs and you throw 4 or 5 touchdowns a game and you have an offense, or you have a defense and you just need someone to facilitate the ball. This is what we were hoping the Bears would be. The Niners are that Bears defense. They just have a quarterback that can manage the game. Does he need to come out and throw 4 touchdowns a game? Hell no. Jimmy G, you got 1, maybe 2 touchdowns a game. Manage the load. When we tell you to run the clock, clock. Don't throw a freaking interception or I'll kill you. And Jimmy's been doing great of that. You do see last night, finally, you have to rely on him a little bit. He does what he has to do. Sorry, J-Love, against a defense that is not a top defense. You expected him to at least be able to pick that apart when he needed to, and he did what he had to do. So Jimmy is only doing exactly what he's asked to do and what he needs to do. He does not need to try and push his game. Keep doing what you're doing. Your team will be fine. You are undefeated. You have the best defense in football, and you're not making dumb decisions. Keep being you.
Like Gronk.
Keep being you, Jimmy G.
Seattle's gonna beat them though.
Jimmy G got
shut up. The Seahawks will beat them.
Shut up.
Jimmy G got a little bit of that. Your mom, your porn star story. That man Jimmy G was having that, and that. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of some na to cure all of the woes, and then you get out there and you just start, slinging his pigskin like it's nothing. You're good. All the other side though, for real, Jimmy G. I like that you can read defenses now, because that's something that you weren't doing at the beginning of the season. You were still throwing a couple picks despite them still winning games. He has vastly improved. He has stepped up. He has gained the confidence past the injury. I believe it's the ACL. And whenever you're coming off an ACL, it takes sometimes 6 months to a year to fully regain your confidence back. And the fact that he was able to do that and he's looking like he's out there swagging out, doing his thing, to me, that's important. And to me, that's one of the things that could possibly push the 49ers to the next level. But they still have a lot of holes that they have to fix. Quan Alexander is now out with the torn pec. So that's going to affect this team on I know, crazy mofo, I know. But that is going to affect him, moving up. That's going to affect that team overall moving forward, especially when they have to go up against teams like the Seattle Seahawks, so on and so forth. With that being said and with that being stated, I'm on the Jimmy G hype train. I'm with it. It is what it is. Chat, get your fantasy questions ready because we're about to get your fantasy stuff set up.
Yeah. I'm not.
Ow.
I just looked at their schedule real quick. Here's something really, really interesting.
Play Arizona again.
So far through, no, not the Arizona game. So far through this season, anytime their defense has not played well, and by play well, I'm going to say a team has scored over 20 points. The 49ers have not scored more than 30. Anytime that defense gives up points, the offense doesn't score that much more.
It only takes one.
It does only take one more, but you go back to the Steelers game. It was 24-20, and that was probably the one game besides this Cardinals game where you could point out that defense didn't play well, and Jimmy Garoppolo looked awful in that game. Had not Jimmy Garoppolo had easily had the best game of his career so far, that's not good for the 49ers. I'm not on the hype train. It's one game. I can't focus everything off of that. They're going to live and die by that defense, and I think that's going to prove throughout the rest of the year because Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to continue what he's doing.
Nick Howard.
I didn't know that Nick Howard was here.
Oh,
Hey,
What's up, guys?
This fucking guy.
Fuck you, Bobby.
Dad, Nick, you are right. We are about to wrap up. I was trying to see if anyone had any fantasy questions. I highly doubt that all of you guys' lineups are set. So what we will do is we'll actually start with you, Nick. And we'll go around, snake order. So we'll go Nick, Bobby, Miles, JD, J Love, and then we'll finish it off. Let's go with your top 5 must starts for fantasy football.
Ooh, that's tough.
We should one QB, one receiver, one running.
Yeah, one QB, one receiver, one running back. If you have a tight end, toss that in, and a defense.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna say this week just because it's Giants week. I'm gonna go Dak at QB. Thinking, what's the schedule looking like?
You want to take some time to get it together,
Yeah. I just got in here. I didn't even get the script for today.
Yeah, we can start.
Well, I could jump off, I guess. I would probably
because we're about to wrap up, so we're gonna have everyone go around Snake and just drop.
No, he's gonna try to drop his takes.
It's just the 5. I can just do it real quick. I guess Okay, Gardner Minshew versus the Texans in London. That's a home game for them. I'm a Texans fan, bro, but their defense is just leaking points out the ass right now on the secondary, and then they lost J.J. Watt. So Charles Omenu and some other guys are going to have to step up for that. Let's see, tight end, I'd go Jonnu Smith with the Tennessee Titans. He has a connection there with the new QB in place, and Delaney Walker's going to be out, so that's a pretty good streamer. Defense, you got the Cleveland Browns. I forgot who they were playing, but I think they had a pretty decent matchup this week. And I'll give you, I guess, one receiver, Danny Amendola for the Detroit Lions. I think would be pretty good. Matthew Stafford's slinging it right now, and they lost their running back, so he's been kind of picking it up a little bit. He's gotten healthier, and we kind of see that he's getting that target share that he saw when he was healthy in the beginning of the season before he kind of got injured. So I think that's it.
Beautiful.
Bobby.
Me?
Yeah.
Your name's
All
Bobby.
right. All right. Tight. So we'll run them down. Quarterback first. Matt Stafford for the quarterback. Running back is going to be Nick Chubb. Must start. Wide receiver is going to be DeAndre Hopkins because they're going to be putting up a lot of points against that team. DeAndre Hopkins is gonna go for 15 plus easy.
Chocolate sauce.
Yeah, chocolate sauce going to be rolling this weekend. Defense. This is going to be defense. Play the Patriot D versus the Ravens. Play that one, and you'll thank me. You'll thank me later.
Is this tape?
I like it.
Play that one, and you'll thank me later.
I can't believe you said that.
I like it.
Nick, you ready? You want us to?
So I got what do I got?
No, you did it all. Right?
Yeah, he said Chubb.
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 Yeah,
Chubb, Stafford, Kelsey, and
Hopkins.
Patriots D.
Who the hell the Browns playing? I know they're the hot waiver wire ad on defense.
Yeah, they're playing the
Oh,
Broncos.
there you go.
And if you can pick up Kenyon Drake, do it.
Sell Kenyon Drake, right? Sell him.
Yeah,
Nope.
you sell Kenyon Drake. You do not keep Kenyon Drake.
Nick, you ready? You want to go real quick?
He's a handcuff.
It doesn't
No.
matter to me.
Go ahead, Nick.
If you're ready, go ahead.
I got Dak QB. I got Cook at running back. I think Edelman's gonna have a good game against the Ravens. They got a lot of injuries in the secondary. Edelman is still being Edelman, even banged up. That one's not gonna be pretty. Tight ends, it's kind of goofy. I'm gonna go with Waller just because he's one of the proven guys this year, even though he's going up against the Lions. And then defense-wise, I'm going Vikings because I think the Chiefs are going to be abysmal. I think Matt Moore had his one game. Now he's going to get game planned on, and it's going to not be pretty.
I'm scared. I'm sitting my Vikings. Well, I may sit my Vikings defense because I picked up the Colts just to stream them, but we'll see. I mean, I
So
always
you
like
guys
to play
realize
matchups.
that Hollywood's not playing for the Ravens. You know that, right?
He hasn't been.
I know.
He's out. So he's
Yeah.
out. So who's Lamar going to throw to? Nobody.
His number one target, Mark Andrews.
What is my
Mark Andrews, Willie Snead's been pretty consistent
40
for
yards on
him.
the ground per play.
Lamar Jackson has legs. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, he's going to run for 100 yards or something.
Lamar. Here's another hot take. Lamar's going for under 100. He might
That's
even go
not bad.
for under 80.
He's talking. He's just talking. He's just talking.
Your hot takes got buckets of water on them.
I got a fantasy start, or I got a basketball fantasy start.
What?
Danilo Gallinari. Keep an eye on his ass.
Hot takes,
Okay.
baby. This shit.
Football, go.
All right, so my must-start quarterback is Kirk Cousins. They are playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs give up a hell of a lot of yards. I expect them to just do what they do. The only reason Kirk Cousins will disappoint is because they're up by 20 at halftime, and they need to run the ball. I'm going Kirk Cousins with that one.
I love that as a Cook owner.
Hey, you know what? I think he has a big game too. I think the Vikings just do what they got to do.
Definitely.
In regards to running backs, this was a kind of a tough one here. I think Christian McCaffrey has a big game. They played the Titans, so that's rough, but I think he's going to be the main focus point of where they're going to go with that one. Wide receiver-wise, I'm going DJ Shark.
DJ Shark.
I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Texans offense, you guys know I preach the Texans offense. I love them, but their defense has been lacking. Their secondary is broken right now. DJ Shark is going to have a hell of a game, I think. So I'm going with
injured cornerbacks, and
Isn't Fuller banged up too?
Fuller's out for a couple of weeks. He didn't travel with the team.
Yeah. So that Shark pick might be a good pick.
Deshaun Gibson's out, but he's usually locking down on tight ends, and then they have three of their starting cornerbacks hurt, and they just picked up some other guys. So they're playing. They trade guy.
For the Jags, is AJ Boye playing the corner?
AJ Boye is going to shadow DeAndre Hopkins, but
I figured.
I don't think it's going to be too tough. I mean, he's beaten Jalen Ramsey before in shadow coverage, so I think he's familiar with him. He played on the team with the Texans a couple years ago, so I think he'll be.
Hopkins has actually, if you look at the numbers, Hopkins has actually done really well against Ramsey.
Yeah,
Ramsey. In the limited amount of time he's played against Boye, though, it actually hasn't been good at all.
No, it hasn't, but it's limited. It's small sample size. I think
it's small sample sizes. I think it's only been 15 targets, but he only has 2 catches.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Solid numbers to Boye. A solid number for Boye.
Boye is still a great corner. He's very slept on.
Well, you know what? Well, the difference between Ramsey and Boye is Boye gets help over the top. Ramsey didn't used to.
He didn't need it. Ramsey doesn't need it. He plays man.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
bro.
Go ahead, Todd. Finish.
Just in regards to tight ends, I like the Waller pick. I don't remember which one you picked. Waller. I like him. I think Lions Raiders. I think it is going to be maybe not a shootout, but the Lions throw the hell out of the ball. The Raiders are going to have to look for somebody to catch the ball and make moves. I like Waller. I'm going with that.
Spider 2, Y banana. That's the play for him.
Defensively, Cowboys. You're playing the Giants. Go get yourself 4 sacks. Go get yourself a fumble. Put up 15 points with your defense. That's where I'm going. So
yeah, rested off the bye. So
that's what I'm saying.
So at quarterback.
Hey, quick question. Who is Jacksonville playing?
The Texans.
The Texans. Well, Fantasy Peacock was like, I'm gone.
Do I need to
He was
mute
like,
you?
fuck
Do
this.
I need to mute you?
God, Bobby.
Robbie J.
Alrighty. Fuck. All right. So first, for quarterback, I'm putting up Josh Allen against the Washington
I
Redskins.
like it.
This guy can move with his legs, and he can also get it done through the air. John Brown has the ability to take the top off of a defense. And when you have a guy like John Brown that can go up and do that, and then you have a guy like Cole Beasley that can get you those intermediate checkdowns, it shouldn't be a problem, especially when you got a guy like Josh Norman who does not like to make contact with receivers. So I think that Josh Allen, for those reasons, and that's why I validate that Josh Allen would be a good pick for your quarterback.
I love that dude. I own him in 3 leagues.
Nice.
I've been riding him till like week 12, and I'm probably gonna have to pivot once he plays New England.
No, I like. Despite going up against a number 2 defense against the run, I am going to say that you are going to put in Chris Carson at running back. I think that this is going to be a very much back and forth game. If anyone can establish the run, Pete Carroll is going to be able to do it with the Seattle Seahawks team, especially with the way that Russell Wilson extends plays with his legs. You guys know me; I'm a big film guy, and what I'm picturing was going to happen on film on Sunday. A lot of quick passes out the backfield, quick let off dump passes out the backfield to Carson to get that yardage. At wide receiver, I do agree with the Danny Amendola pick, Miles, but I am going to say that Cortland Sutton should be someone that you should definitely put up there.
Oh yeah, what Browns corner you got?
Exactly. Greedy Williams still isn't fully out there. Neither is Denzel Ward.
Yeah, he's going to be the main target for the new quarterback stepping in.
Hey, Robbie.
No.
Robbie.
No.
What?
And this is for the chat. So I got a buddy. He's got Manny Sanders, Cortland Sutton, or Alshon Jeffrey. You got to pick 2 out of the 3.
Sanders already played.
Yeah, he played on Thursday.
Yeah, Manny Sanders already played, so he has to play Cortland Sutton.
Yeah,
He tore it up.
not Alshon.
But yeah, Cortland Sutton is definitely a guy that I feel that you should put in your lineup. If you're not able to get Cortland Sutton, Tyrell Williams is coming back off an injury, and he has scored a touchdown in every single appearance that he has stepped on the field. So there's another guy for you as a backup. At tight end, I want to stress that even though he is facing the New England defense, this is the only person that's going to be able to receive. Yes, this is the only person that is going to be able to receive the ball for the Baltimore Ravens due to the fact that Hollywood Brown is not going to be active this game. So Mark Andrews, I feel that for the low end point, he's going to be able to get you, maybe keep you in contention. The tight end position is a wasteland in fantasy football for the second year in a row. There's not much that we can do about that, but just give you the best advice that we can. But I am still running with Mark Andrews, probably the more reliable tight end out there. Maybe you can take a shot at Vance McDonald, but I'm not sure about that. And that's where I'm going with my top guys starting sit. Oh, and the Browns defense, obviously.
Mr. Love.
All right. I am going to agree that Kirk Cousins is a most definite start against an awful Chiefs defense. My running back, it's actually going to be a little surprising. It's going to be Jalen Samuels. He's gonna be on the field for 100% of the snaps. James Conner and Benny Snell being out, there is no other running back on that team besides the fullback Roosevelt Nix. I have 2 wide receivers. Hollywood is playing. Ooh, that's kind of a dynamic actually. I have two wide receivers. I'm going to go Chris Godwin. I think that he's going to have a monster day against that Seattle secondary, and I'm actually going to go Mike Williams.
He's been getting targets. He needs to catch him.
He's a huge target. He does need to catch him. He gets a ton of red zone looks. I believe he's 3rd in the league in red zone looks at about 14, if I'm not mistaken. Phillip Rivers looks at his way no matter what, and his matchup is not going to be Jair Alexander. He's going to be on Keenan Allen. That secondary corner is more than likely going to be Kevin King, a guy who's 5'10", against a 6'5" Mike Williams. He's going to eat him alive. My tight end is going to be Greg Olsen. I understand they're playing a very good Titans defense who attacks the quarterback. They're ranked 26th against tight ends. They don't defend that spot well at all. I think they can take advantage of that. My defense is going to be the Cowboys. They're playing a turnover-heavy Daniel Jones. He leads the league, and he missed 3 games And he is ahead of every other quarterback by 2 turnovers, including the 14 interception Baker Mayfield.
Who's
Is it 14 now? Holy crap.
Who'd you your running backs for again?
Did you pick a running back, J-Love?
Jalen Samuels.
Oh, yeah, okay. Damn, I was about to be like, if you and me had the same exact people for everything, I'm going to be pissed.
No, really quick, he just showed all of you guys because he provided all players with validation of why he picked them. He just showed you why he's the youngest writer on the staff, and he's damn
With
good.
a 2-6 record.
Yeah, with a 2-6 record, but he still knows his shit. JD.
I've been liking Josh Jacobs lately, but I also like Dalvin Cook, obviously. So Dalvin Cook, if I had to choose one, but I also like Josh Jacobs. And I like Watson. I mean, I feel like he can always go off for 4 or 5 touchdowns and maybe rush for one. But I also like
the shine.
And I would have said
Kittle.
What's that?
I said Watson likes to shine. He's going to be out in London. He's going to use that as like a stage. You know, he's going to have the early game. It's going to be the only thing on. But, you know,
I'm going to go with Watson, my quarterback.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
Who's running for Green Bay?
Let JD finish.
Okay.
For tight end, I would have said Kittle, but he already blew up. So let's see.
Dawson Knox, bro.
What's that?
I said Dawson Knox because he's going up against the Skins.
You know who needs to play better is Trey Burton.
I almost was like, JD, just put Trey Burton in the world. It was like, just put that out in the air, dude. Like,
I was going to say nobody wants to play Trey Burton ever.
Yeah.
Chris Herndon, if he's on the wire, if you need to stream a tight end, is a good pickup against the Dolphins.
Is he healthy? I don't know if he was practicing or not.
Tight end is pretty. Yeah, there's people coming and going, but like you talked about Waller earlier, he's an interesting guy too. So, but
tight end's terrible.
Yeah, tight end's hard to. There's a lot of interesting guys, but
like I said, I went with Jonnu, and I would consider maybe Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia because he gets a lot of red zone targets that Ertz hasn't been getting lately.
That's why I'm not huge on Ertz for fantasy. Everyone was saying how great he is, but he's disappointing me a lot.
For where you picked him,
There's been rumors. I don't know if they're true. There's been rumors that he's been playing banged up since like game 2.
I'm sure. I mean,
that would make sense.
That would make a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I've read more than one article about him being. He hasn't been healthy since the second game of the year. That's why he's not seeing the target.
If anyone's gonna break that Patriots secondary, though, I agree that it's gonna be Hollywood Brown. I don't know if that's a fantasy start, but I think that's an interesting tidbit.
I have a question actually. So on my fantasy team, I have Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs, and Devontae Adams starting as of right now. But I also just said I think Mike Williams is a start, and he's on my bench. So do I start Devontae Adams or Mike Williams as my flex?
I do Adams if he's healthy. If he's out there and he plays, play. But if he's not, or it's a game time decision, then I would probably pivot just to be safe.
His thing was it a foot or an ankle, right?
It's turf toe.
Crazy says Goddard, Juno Smith, or Olsen.
Jonnu Smith.
Or Jonnu Smith, sorry.
Yeah, I would do
Jonnu Smith.
Smith is the answer.
Olsen's gonna have a great matchup, and I'm starting him, but I think
because Fells is going to be in London, like I said, in Wembley, and that field is kind of like, I don't know, spotty, or it's always jacked up. You don't know how it's going to go. The game, but they do try to scheme him in there with Houston a lot. There's a lot of design plays to go to the tight end. So Fells is play.
Mofo. So Jonnu Smith there, Darren Fells or Jonnu are going to be good pickups for you, Connor Burt. It doesn't matter. Yeah, those are fine. Other than that, is there anything that anyone is missing?
I'm excited to play the Mavericks game.
Me personally, actually, I was trying to trade. So, like, I have in my starting lineup, I have DJ Moore, and this is in my league of record. So it's a half-point PPR. And my running backs are set, so I'm good. I got Cook, Kamara, who's like off on bye or whatever, but I have Williams in my flex right now, and my second, and I have Cook, of course, right? Did I say Cook already? But anyhow, so I'm trying to trade away 2 receivers because Mac went down. He's going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. The guy who owns him is in like second to last place, has 2 wins. He needs to win now. So I was thinking of trading guys on my bench who have just gotten healthy, Sterling Shepard and Deshaun Jackson, to acquire T.Y. Hilton. You think that's a
That's-
good move? I'm in like 4th place right now, and I have
Man,
T.Y. Hilton 3-4 weeks to get healthy, and then he has to come back and get back in game shape. Ugh.
I think
well, he plays the Texans in 3 weeks, and he's not going to miss that game. He'll only miss 2 games, is my guess. He wasn't a walking boot, but I'm not that worried because this happens to him every year.
I'd make it.
That's my
You're
only-
welcome, Brandon Rogers.
I'll say this. I mean, of course, it's your lineup. It's completely up to you. I'll say this, though. Sometimes the best trade that you make is the trade that you make.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
I would look to try and keep Deshaun Jackson. Honestly, I know he's been hurt and hasn't really been anything, but I feel like when he comes back, he adds just a whole different dynamic of wide receiver to Carson Wentz. He doesn't have a over-the-top guy. I think it's just Carson Wentz a whole new weapon.
And that's why I'd hold on to Zach Ertz, because that makes him open underneath.
Please.
Robbie, we talked about that strategic L.
Yeah. This is pretty much my strategic L week. Other than that,
Couldn't have
though,
been last week? God.
I won last week.
I know. I'm saying, why couldn't it have been last week?
I'd probably have this week.
Connor Burke has Marlon Mack, Leonard Fournette, or McLaren for flex.
What was that?
Last fantasy question. Connor Burke asks Marlon Mack, Leonard Fournette, or McLaren for flex.
Fournette.
Fournette.
All right.
Majority.
All right.
Yeah.
No, Fournette by far.
Even though I hate him.
The Texans,
Yeah.
the Texans front seven is banged up, and they're gonna run all over that team.
Oh, yeah, J.J. Watt's out. Oh, he's going to
JJ Watt's out. Some of the other guys are going to come in.
They're gonna run all over that. They're gonna run all over that team.
All right, guys.
Hey, later, Miles. We appreciate you for joining the show. We're about to wrap up too, buddy.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Last fantasy question.
Thanks for coming on.
Should I trade Chris Carson for Matt Breida and Philip Lindsay?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Wait,
yes.
wait. Wait until Philip Lindsay is off of bye. Wait until week 11 so Philip Lindsay gets off of
Breida
bye.
and Lindsay share carries. Carson is number one.
Late season trade.
You keep your RB1.
Yeah, and he runs the ball a ton of a lot. Love it.
All righty. All right, y'all. So
Good show.
we appreciate you guys for joining us here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It is always a pleasure each and every Friday night. We had to give you guys an extra long show tonight because last week we shortened by a fuck ton. But we appreciate each and every single one of you guys that came in, joined, showed a lot of love. Shout out to Fantasy Football Peacock. Miles, check out all of his articles on Rumboyz.com. Check out all of Jordan Love's articles on Rumboyz.com. Check out all of Rumboyz Central, JD's articles on Rumboyz.com. You know, Bobby, Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk, our Boston sports show. He is always keeping you guys taken care of on YouTube, Sportscaster, and Rumboyz.com. Nick Howard, I appreciate you for hopping in the show, brother. I thank you. Nick Howard's always going to be. Nick Howard is dropping picks on his channel as well. Be sure you guys tune into his channel and subscribe to his channel. He'll make sure you guys get all his details. Other than that, gentlemen, we'll go around and announce what you got going on. Miles, I know that you have to go, so Miles, you first. What do you have going on? What do you got dropping next?
Just tomorrow, I'll probably drop in my fantasy episode, like I talked about earlier, that I do for my home league, my league of record that I was talking about with my homeboy Skyler. So we get that. We typically take it, about an hour or so, and we run through every fantasy relevant team player on every team that we're facing, and kind of just break it down that way. Lots of shits and giggles, and we usually, drink some beer and have some laughs. So go ahead and check us out there. And of course, I do have a couple of articles with you guys and another Time Skew podcast. So go ahead and check me out there. Of course, FF_Peacock on Twitter. That's where you can find most of my stuff. So really appreciate you guys having me on today.
Have a great night.
You got it.
Bobby, what do you got coming up next? Let the people know. Talk to them. Holla at them.
Sunday, I'm going to be doing football leading up to the Patriots game as well, and then Sunday night I'll be doing the Sunday night game and Monday night as well.
Awesome.
Also the Celtics thrown in there as well. Celtics and Bruins.
Hell yeah. Hey, we appreciate it, buddy. Nick, what can they look out for coming from your angle?
Either later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, I'm uploading kind of like a writing piece that I'm gonna make into a video and just talk things going on right now with like the media to athlete relation, like sports climate.
Yes.
About how pretty much the writers and beat reporters want more emotion, more of like what guys are really thinking. And then when they get what they're thinking or guys show themselves, they play them out, and then guys don't trust them anymore. And Baker and Tony Grossi in particular. I'll mention some other ones, but I got the Man Cave like reveal dropping. I've been trying to mess around and maybe edit and make it like done up and presented a little bit better. And a lot of other stuff coming too. The floodgates are about to open.
Dude.
With all my other stuff. So get ready to get a couple of notifications every day or every couple of days.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
JD, what's up next?
I'll be calling some games. I have a few basketball articles I'm working on, and State of the Bears for football. I'll be touching that again later in the week, but for sure, more basketball games.
Let's see here. Before we get into J Love, fantasy. Should I trade Emmanuel Sanders for Stephon Diggs?
Yes.
Go for it. Go for it.
Do it.
That's a trade you can win.
All day.
J Love, go.
A couple articles coming on Rumboyz.com. I'm finally going to get into basketball. I got through that writer's block I was going through. Basketball's coming. College football's wrapping up. There's going to be a few things going on there. And that's about it for me.
Oh, yes. Hell yes. Ty.
You guys know, I mean, our usual thing, just keep content going tomorrow. I got a little something going tomorrow. Maybe I think I'm trying to at least just drop we did it a long time ago, so I want to re-drop one, a way too early NBA prediction. The standings, wild card. I know we talked about it a little tonight, but I just want to drop a little something on maybe your dark horse teams to watch for, your teams that are looking to go, why the Warriors probably won't be making the playoffs. So a little bit of basketball action for you guys since we're trying to get back into that start of the season. So otherwise, our usual we got going Sunday, Monday. You guys know what's up.
Hell yeah.
For myself, we will have you guys taken care of on NFL Run Zone. If I make some time, call a game tomorrow for you guys, then we will. I'm trying to get basketball really started up next week around. But if I'm able to get one going for you guys, and maybe we do big. Oh wait, I have UFC 244 tomorrow. What the fuck am I talking about?
LeBron just pulled up right in Luka Doncic's face and just
watching the game.
I'm watching.
Yeah, it came back. UFC 244 tomorrow. So let me just go ahead and make sure I restructure everything that I said and just brought up. Nick, you said you're gonna give me the link for the fight, or who's that? Or BKB? I think it's BKB that said he's gonna give you the link for the fight. So we'll be calling you UFC 244 for you guys tomorrow. Check me out on Twitter at rumboyspelled.net, like you see it in my little box right over there. Yeah, right over there. And then NFL Rum Zone on Sundays, 7 hours of commercial-free NFL action for you guys. Do remember that officially all of our live views are the bigger portion of where we get credit for on Sportscaster. So whenever we're live, know that we're live there as well. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how we got to sign off. You know how we got to do it. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the wrong boys
and girls were due.
Jelly. I've been drinking. I'm sorry.
I'm going to watch this game. This game is crazy.